Hello, and welcome to Power Play, episode 16, I think. Wow, it's like it flies by. Yeah. So I'm Rick Budd, your GM, and I'm about over a year overdue for a haircut. And these lovely people are Sam DeLev, who plays Cadrax, and Caitlin Bruder, who plays Benny Beckett, and B. Zelda, who plays Ulez Galley, and Omar Najam, who plays Vion Vigor. And I want to throw special thanks to Jake and Lauren and the mods and everyone over at QueueTimes. We could not do what we do if they did not do what they do, and they're all really good at what they do, so we're really fortunate. And thank y'all. And incidentally, your subs and your bits help support QueueTimes, so we have the platform to do this kind of fun stuff. And your donations to the tip jar help support these people that you see on the screen. That's our Feed the Cast fund. And to that end, we have our rewards, and this is how they work. At $50, the team gets a point of community determination, and they are down to 2 points of community determination. And 3 team members, by my count, have no determination at this point. So that is very valuable. If we get to $150, as I always explain, in universe, our team has a mysterious benefactor who sends them helpful gifts. Out of the universe, we know that mysterious benefactor is you, the chat, and you have provided the team so far this season with a single-use rear tack dispenser for their van, a voice stress analyzer, which is +1 intel when detecting lies, a single-use nitrous oxide injection system for that same van, and a police band radio that is, for some reason, cooler than the one you can get on the app on your phone. And this week, if we get to $150, you can provide the team with a parabolic spy microphone at a distance of 3. So that means no matter what the setting is, from about a block out, you can eavesdrop in on a conversation. And that is if we get to $150. And if we get to $250, there's the after credits lore drop, a revealing glimpse of some important but previously unseen part of our story or universe. Last week's was one of my favorite. We've got another cool one lined up for this week. Thank you, everybody, for everything you have donated. You can always see these tiers in chat by hitting Command Unlocks, and if you can't help us out by donating, you can help us out by liking and commenting on our YouTube videos and sharing our tweets and stuff. And we really appreciate everything y'all are doing. It's a fan art and live tweets and the readings and I mean all this stuff. It's just absolutely we see all of it and it's kind of it really just hits right here. And for a limited time, you can get Power Play merchandise. There are T-shirts and stickers with Caitlin's wonderful art that are available at the QueueTimes Teespring store. And Jake will put that link into the chat with you. There you go. Yeah, you can see what some of that stuff looks like. I got a cool T-shirt on this like really cool like kind of lavendery color. It's like it really just pops. It's awesome. And and the game we play here is called Icons. It is published by Ad Infinitum Adventures. It was created by Steve Kenson. You can check him out on Twitter at @skenson. He's a cool dude. And the book edition is published by Green Ronin. They have been sold out now for God knows forever, but you can get it as a PDF. You can follow the show at Power Play RPG on Twitter and Instagram. And Power Play is now also a podcast, which is cast wherever fine pods are cast. So if you are podcast inclined, check that out. And that is it. Those are the announcements. Time for Power Play. Welcome back, and previously on Power Play. The team saw Curtis Haber, their old enemy, and Tulez, their new friend, abducted at separate times by strange figures wearing kind of green monk-like robes. And their friend Pete Alameda, the night librarian at the Baronsdale Public Library, identified those figures as being similar to a pre-revolutionary era group called the Solidarity of Man, who were known for burning witches in the area that would someday become Rifton. The team asked Pete to see if he could identify any of the specific places the Solidarity was active in, and he said he would get back to them. The team also asked their new friend, Agent Steve from END, the Extra Normal Defense Agency, to look into those green-robed figures also, and he said he would give it a shot if they would run a mission for him. And that mission was about bringing in Declan, the manager of the cluster's mad science lab, which our heroes shut down at the end of season 1. And they succeeded at bringing in Eklund in one of my favorite little sequences ever. And that is when Pete called to say he had some new info. And that is where we pick up. So by the time Agent Steve gets you all back to Vion's office, it is pretty late at night, and Vion, you get a text from Pete that his shift at the library is starting. He's got a lot of work to do, so instead of coming over tonight, he's going to come see you tomorrow at noon. And then you, I don't know, what would you like to do for the night? Anything anybody wants to do tonight?
Benny wants to ask how tall this building is. How tall is the building that Sandy manages?
I would say it is. It's probably about 4 or 5 stories high. Let's say it's 5. And your office, Vion, is on the first floor, but otherwise it's kind of a conventional office building. There are 2 stairwells in each corner and an elevator, and it's like it is sort of open and you can navigate the building you want if you want.
So we're at the office building and not the apartment building?
Yeah, he dropped you at Vion's office.
Office building. Okay, cool.
I think hopefully I'm remembering this correctly. I arrived separately from everybody else. So I would just like to check in, I think, with everyone.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me. Yes, you were not with the main crew yet.
How was all right? How was that boat ride? Oh, okay. It sounds like there's a little bit of a story here. All right.
Oh, wow. We have opened up the first tier. Thank you so much, everybody. So you've got 3 points of community determination now. Then make a note of that.
Thank you.
It was rather uneventful. There were events, but nothing that I would particularly mark. Declan Eklund is not entirely cooperative.
That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, that checks out.
A little bit
Are
of
you
pessimist?
Very much so. Are you nearby, Dion?
Yeah, I'm almost there. I'm just gonna be pulling up. I suppose there's a parking. Would it be a parking garage there, or would I have to hunt for a space?
No, you're gonna have to hunt for a space. It's not that nice a building. Yeah.
No one has a car in Port Ruby. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm just looking for parking. So I'll be there as soon as I can.
I hope you find them.
Thank you.
So we will say, yeah, it takes you a good 10 or 20 minutes to find parking, and then you can make your way back to the building. And anything else anybody wants to do while we're here?
Are we hanging out here, or is everyone splitting for the night?
I mean, job well done at this point, I suppose, right? Steve's got his man, so I guess we can turn in. It's a pretty long day. I almost got arrested. Sorry, I didn't. Just to catch you all up.
It sounds like your events were more eventful than ours.
It was a little touch and go. I was a little bit outside of my comfort zone, but I did get the name of the officer that I was talking to, and I'm going to start setting up some meetings to just kind of pick his brain a little bit, because if the whole police force is in on something, it might not hurt to get, a little bit of intel on that. And this guy was real easy to fluff his ego, let me tell you. It was really easy. It was real easy to get him going, so I'll be paying Noah a couple visits. But other than that, I'm good to turn in if everyone else is, unless there's something else going on.
Did we have the plant from Tula's here, or did that get passed off somewhere else? I don't remember where that went.
That is on Vion's windowsill at his
Apartment.
house, if I remember.
That's
Yes,
right. I'm trying to remember where things are. Okay. You don't happen to have a key to the roof to this place, do you?
I really hope I do, because I love that idea. Is that okay, Rick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good.
Yeah, as a tenant, you definitely have a key to the roof.
Yeah, I've got it. You want to go up to the rooftop?
Yeah, kind of. I feel like chilling out on a rooftop would be a fun way to, if anybody wants to come, decompress after a lot of things happened today.
Sure. Here, I'm going to give you the key. I'm going to start doing a little bit of search while I got kind of this energy going. But feel free to go hang out and vibe out up there. And I hand the key over.
Ulas, Kedrex, you want to come?
I think that would be lovely.
I apologize, I have to perform search rays. Perhaps another time we can grow colder and less pressured.
Sounds good.
I leave them to chill and decompress.
Yeah, and you head back to Serrano Memorial, which is, short walk up from here. And we'll get back to you, Vion. Why don't we say, Benny and Ulez, you head on up to the roof. And it is, the roof of a building. There are some exhaust pipes up there, but now, really not much else.
How clear is the sky? We got clouds. I mean, there's going to be light and just pollution anyways, but how are the clouds?
For Port Ruby, I would say it's a pretty clear night. As you can see, the moon is visible, and there is a smattering of stars, and a couple of clouds.
Yeah. I think Benny's gonna go. She's got like her jacket on, and she'll lay it out and sit down on her hands and kind of pat next to her for Ulas to come sit.
Oh, yes, I would love to sit on this barren roof.
Benny I think will just like look up for a little bit and be like, I used to do this a lot more before we got all together, I guess. I don't know what you would call what we're doing, but before that, you can kind of look up and see really far. Do you know any of them? And she kind of will start pointing generically into the sky.
I mean, you haven't captured a lot of stars with your gestures. However,
That's true.
I do know that your stars, from our perspective here on Earth, they twinkle because of the atmosphere here. They are not like that where I come from. They are merely bright, glowing balls. No sparkle to them like you possess. I have more star facts if you really want me to read them.
You can go ham.
Well, I do know that most of the stars in our universe are red dwarf stars. Actually, what I know about them is very minimal.
That's good.
This is nice, though.
Can you see less or more from your home planet?
Oh, we would normally see many more stars. Your sky is rather dark. I recognize that it is due to the rampant light pollution you all possess. Your light source is not kind to space.
Yeah. Where I come from, you can see a lot more, too.
It must be prettier than this blankness. It's okay.
Do you think about going back a lot?
All the time. I don't know if I can go back right now. I have already altered my programming and my spaceship is not operational. So while I do consider it, it is not a real serious consideration at the moment. I am enjoying having pressing matters to occupy my time. None of them are my prime directive, and I will never abandon it, but I've enjoyed other activities.
Yeah, it's fun to have fun sometimes.
It's really nice, especially when we get to do art. I still have the image of that willow tree in my brain. It will remain there forever.
Me too. Do you... This might be a weird question. And maybe I'm asking for advice somehow in there, but before you remembered everything, did you want to know? Or were you, happy to just exist here?
I have not properly examined that kind of thinking. Huh. I truly believe that I was just happy to be here. I felt incomplete in the sense that I wasn't able to perform my prime directive, but I have never felt so involved in something that wasn't a purely academic pursuit. It's been rather nice. I would love to pose a similar question to you, but admittedly, Benny, I'm not entirely certain of your activities beyond when you are with us, when you are on fire, and when you are talking on your phone.
I guess I do sometimes want to know where I came from, but I don't know if... outside of what I know. And she's going to turn and open her bag that she's got with her, and she pulls out an envelope, and she puts it down on the ground between them and says, "This was given to me by somebody against my will, I suppose, a little bit. He was trying to be nice."
But you did not want it? The envelope.
I don't know. It's... According to him, it might answer some of those questions for me. But it also might be nothing. And if it is nothing, then I don't want to know. But if it isn't nothing, then maybe it will be helpful.
I think there was more emotion than logic in that sentence.
Yeah.
Not too certain how to parse that, but I believe I understand the essence. You are worried about the contents of this.
I've had it for a while, and I didn't really know what to do about it. I thought about burning it and throwing it away, and now I just kind of keep it with me because I don't know what to do with it.
This seems like a burden. My people, when we have outgrown our parts, when we want to evolve, when we want to move on, we discard the parts of ourselves that are no longer necessary to us, and we replace them with something that is better, stronger, more adept to what we want in that moment. If this piece of you is old and it hurts, I would remove it.
I don't know if it's old. I don't know. It will be new to me, but I guess that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
If you do open it, I will be here. I may not know how to set fire to things, but I have been learning. I have been researching.
We'll save that as a backup. You want to read it with me?
I would enjoy that.
Okay. If I don't like it, we'll throw it away.
Deal. Can you light things on fire from a distance? We flung it off the tower? The building?
I might have to light it on fire first, then we can throw it.
Okay.
Benny's gonna open the envelope.
All right. Yeah, and you open that envelope, and inside is a single white piece of paper, and in the upper corner of the paper, it simply says, Adam Aubrey, 781 Westfall Terrace, apartment 9F, Rifton. And that's it.
This is rather simplistic.
We've met this guy, right?
No.
No? Why is the...
No.
Oh, I was thinking the last name is the first... Oh, I was thinking of Aubrey. The one. I was like, oh, wait. I was thinking reverse names.
Oh, Audrey. Yeah.
I had a second where I was like, wait, hold on. We're good.
No.
Okay. Okay. Well, that was anticlimactic. I'm not gonna lie.
Would you still like to burn it? I have the address stored in my memory.
I feel like that might be cathartic. I'm gonna write it down and we're gonna put it back in the envelope and we're gonna start it on fire. We're gonna burn it on the roof.
And I'll send you that written version of that
Cool.
at the break or something. Yeah, and as you burn that up, let's go down to Vion Vigor. You're in your office and you barely even notice the wisps of a flaming piece of paper falling past your office window. What are you doing in there?
I am researching Officer Noah,
Okay,
who I encountered an hour or two ago.
Give me an intellect roll. I'm
All
using the
right.
red die, which do not fail me as often as the green die.
Okay, 8.
8, that's with your investigation bonuses. And
Yeah.
you
Yes.
do not find anything too interesting. You see his name, in a couple of articles about, kind of run-of-the-mill sort of arrests and stuff. There's if there is anything interesting about him on the net, you have not found it.
Any biographical info?
Not for an 8.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. I got more tricks up my sleeve with this guy.
Yeah. So we'll say you're doing that. And Kadrax, you go to the hospital, and you've got a busy night working, and then when your shift comes to an end, it is now the morning of Thursday, November 12th, let's say, and you show up at home to find your living room empty. And boop-a-doo.
How empty?
Well, the furniture and everything is still there, but Sonny is not, and his stuff is not.
Are Abigail's things still in place?
Yeah. And in fact, she comes out of the bedroom and she's like, oh, hey, how was your shift?
Mostly uneventful. But there's hope perhaps the next one will be better.
Yeah, here's hoping. So your friend Sonny came and took his stuff and took off.
When did he do that?
Yesterday in the late afternoon, which is fine by me. I gotta say, it's having someone living in our living room for 4 weeks has been not ideal. But
I wish I had known before. I would have immediately physically removed him from the building and prohibited him from returning.
oh no, we don't need anything quite that serious.
You
But
seem to have some level of affection for him.
well,
Did you ruin
And-
that?
and yeah, well, affection for him. He's got the nice eyes, but otherwise,
You were observing his eyes.
oh yeah.
I see.
But but that being said, I am I'm happy to have our living room back. And she kind of plops down on the couch and kind of digs into a bowl of Cheerios.
Did he say where he was going?
No, he just said he's making other arrangements.
Good to know. May
Well-
I interest you in a cereal?
I'm good, but if you want, I think there are some more Cheerios, and we may still have some some of the Lucky Charms. So
Those are the ones that are made by freeze drying, yes?
I guess they have, the pink stars and the yellow moons and the green clovers and the.
There are no moons in there. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna investigate. There aren't gonna be any moons.
Yeah, so you have cereal with Abigail, and as the day rolls on, let's say it gets to about noon, and are you all coming to meet Pete at Vion's office, or is this just Vion? Or I guess, Ulez, I can see you nodding already.
Of course.
This is pertinent to the retrieval of Tules, which is our highest priority as a group. And so we should all be there for the briefing.
Yeah, so Pete shows up, and he's got donuts and coffee, and he comes on in, and he lays them down, and he's like, "Hey, I thought I'd bring donuts."
Of course,
and
Pete.
Yeah.
Pete, is it?
Yeah.
Is it all right if I give you a hug? You can please, if you're not comfortable with that, let me know.
Oh, I'm from a long line of huggers. Yeah, and he gives you,
Oh my god,
a really warm, kind of friendly, hug.
This kid. I would like to introduce you to everybody. Everyone, this is Pete.
Hey, everybody. I'm
We
Pete.
greet you.
I greet you too. I'm Pete, the night librarian over at Baronsdale Public Library. What's your name?
Oh, I am Ulez, and I'm very excited at these smushy pastries you have brought. And Ulez has a smushed handful of a donut in their hand.
Yeah, I got
These
a
are-
mixed dozen. Just take whatever looks good to you.
This one had jam on the inside. I will admire it.
Yeah, I'm a jelly man myself. And then he turns to Cadrax. Hi, I'm Pete. What's your name?
I'm Candy Alto of Serrano Memorial Hospital. I was trying to match the, Pete the Night Librarian. Apparently we're doing titles.
Are you a doctor?
Yes, I am a surgical resident.
Wow, respect. My mother's a doctor too. Great to meet you. And then he turns to
Building
you.
dogs,
Yes, building dogs.
Get me.
And by the way, did you bring dog with you? I guess
Evidence
so.
points to yes.
And he turns to Benny. Hey, Pete Alameda.
Benny Beckett, and she'll shake his hand. Did not
Great
get
to
the
meet you,
title
Benny.
memo.
Donut.
Yeah, thank you. And she'll stack two of them real quick and take them.
So yeah, wow, where do I even start? I'm still working on that Norse runestone I told you about. I haven't quite got that translation
take
down
your
yet,
time.
but I'll get back to you. But I do have some information on the solidarity of man. I called a couple of other branches, got some other librarians in. We got a little circle of information going, and you asked where they might have been active. Well. Most of the places that I could find references to have been long since paved and built over. But there's one that is almost entirely untouched. Have you ever heard of Old Rifton Village? You know, that historical site in North Rifton where they sell tourist three-corners hats and stuff like that? In 1674, the Solidary burned a woman named Guinevere Voller at the stake in a field right beside that village. And it's still there, almost the same, except, with all the touristy stuff.
very interesting. All right.
That's what we've got. I don't really know much beyond that yet. But I've got my little circle of information still digging on it for you. If we come up with anything else, I'll be in touch.
Pete, that is just so great. Let me pay you back for these donuts at the very least. You're popping in, you're popping out. No, come on, Pete. No, don't do that.
No. Tell you what, next time the donuts are on you.
I'll agree to that, Pete. I'll agree to that.
Picks up a cup of coffee and offers like a toast.
I will definitely toast Pete.
And on that, he's like, well, I'm headed home for the night. Night shift over. Time for me to get my Z's. Talk to you soon, Vion. Benny, Caden, and Ulez.
Yes.
And he waves and heads out, shutting the door behind him.
Brave
He needs
travels.
Z's. Do they not let him have those at the library?
Well, it means getting sleep.
I thought all letters were available.
Oh, no, well, it's like a thing where people, man, this is another one that I might need some help here, Benny, because I don't know why we'd say Z's for sleep.
Benny pulls up like old comic strips, like finds like some type of old comic strips, and is gonna like pull it and be like, when people sleep, they make sounds sometimes, and that's like the most common one. And she will show like we'll swipe through a couple of like illustrations of like the zzz.
So
Like
the
a-
letter Z is associated with sleep apnea.
That's what it
Yes.
seems like.
I don't know if it's specifically sleep apnea. I think it's just sleep, right? Unless you don't make noises unless you got sleep apnea. I don't know that
Well-
much about sleep.
It's non-specific, but tragically, I believe Cataracts will info dump at that point.
Oh,
I'd
okay.
love to go here for
I
it.
will
Wow.
Yeah, I love it. I never forget. You don't sleep, so you wouldn't know. So yeah, what would you like to do now?
Well, do y'all want to go check out this tourist stop?
Yes, and I would like to determine why are you burning people on a stake? A lot of the details within the statements that Pete offered did not register with me.
Yeah. The most, because I do know a little bit about this, the most polite way I can put it is these two brothers in Germany at one time. We're just terrible people. Just horrible, horrible people. And then that kind of spread, and it was sort of this like here in the US, if you said you could accuse someone of something, there was just kind of like a craze that was going on, and people would rather be accusatory rather than be accused and persecuted. And then eventually the state government actually came in and was just like, what are you doing? What is this? What are you doing? Stop it. Stop all of it. And they did like one or two more. This is in a different spot of the country, but pretty much it kind of spread in the general region. So
And
yeah,
this is
not
when you
good.
change to different forms of human sacrifice.
When you put them in a chair.
Yeah. I mean, yes. That's one way to put it. Absolutely.
An advanced form of human suffering.
Yeah.
Execution? Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
It's all pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not good.
do not
So
enjoy.
we're going to attend the sacrificial ritual site to see if it's connected.
Yeah. I guess we can, look. Maybe I can kind of postcog some stuff, see if we get anything from that.
Speaking of postcog, did you ever take a look at Tulez's plant? They were holding it when those green cloak people took them.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we could get something. You could see under the hood. Maybe.
Yeah. Let's
I
do
don't
that.
know.
That sounds.
I mean, maybe it does not have to be now, but
What do we have to lose? If we see, Godzilla or something like that, we know it's just not real. So,
announcing an idea so I don't forget it later.
yeah, let's give it a go right now. Why not? I'd like to rub my hands.
Well, I think you are at your office right now, so you got y'all heading over to Leon's apartment to check out the plant.
Oh, we're at the
Used to
office.
pick up
Keep forgetting
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. And then when I'll give that a go when I'm at home.
Oh yeah, we can do it eventually.
Yeah.
Sure. I will make a note to remind you.
I'll put my note back in my notes, so.
Cool. Yeah, and so how are you getting to Old Rifton Village? You just taking a van?
I think so.
Is this perhaps the opportunity to suggest altering the exterior of the van,
Oh.
given that it was recently a vehicle of interest to law
Yeah, maybe the
enforcement?
van needs to chill for a few days, so we're not driving around a vehicle that matched the description of the one going around.
Or surgical
Or-
reconstruction.
That too.
We could,
Do
we could
both.
paint it.
Yeah.
Could I
Yes, that.
help paint?
Yeah. Yeah, we could
Okay.
go get some auto paint.
I don't know how you paint cars. Is it a
Just
special?
spray gun.
I think maybe
I unfortunately know stuff about this.
I love that you do.
I mean, I'm also here for like getting the powder coat off, and like, there's got to be an ULEZ anodization electroplating thing that we can do here. I'm just saying.
You know what? Listen, I know we have some stuff to do, but what if we just contacted a local garage and asked if possibly we could work with them to refit the van?
That sounds like an excellent idea. Especially if we can't meaningfully use that transportation.
Because they're still
Otherwise.
looking. They're still looking, right? I mean, like they never, the cops never got their guy. So driving around in a gray van is not the best idea.
Yeah. So do you want to let it just sit? That we'll work on it and not drive it until it looks different. I think that sounds.
Are we still investigating the ritual site?
Yeah. How long? Okay. How long would it take to pay? Listen, I don't want to stop us. Like, again, we could do anything. I'm just saying, if it won't take that long, it's still the morning. So it won't take that long. If we could paint the van and still hit the road in like a couple hours, my personal vote is that.
If someone else paints the van while we investigate the ritual sacrifice site, then we will be maximally efficient, and perhaps we will make an ally in the mechanics sector of this city, which could well be valuable later.
That's a great idea. All right.
That's it.
Let's pull up a list of local garages and see who sounds friendly.
Pull up a list of local garages. So yeah, let's say you get on Google and there is I'm not even gonna make you roll for this. Yeah, there's like a garage around the corner called Fort Trumbull Automotive. Well, actually, it wouldn't be around the corner because you're in Yard Hill right now. But yeah, okay. So there's Fort Trumbull Automotive, and then there's Yard Hill Auto Body. Take your pick.
I like the word auto body.
Okay, we're going with that. Yeah, chase your bliss. So let's do it. We're going to auto body shop.
Sure. And you go to, let's see, Yard Hill Auto Body, you said? Write
Correct.
that down. Gotta remember all this stuff. Okay.
Which one has a more queer-coded website now?
Well, we can say that's Yard Hill Auto Body if you'd like.
Every time looking up a bar, yeah. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, and when you pull in, you are met by a guy. We'll say he is played by Daniel Day Kim, and he is coveralls, grease all over his face and hands. He's like wiping his hand with a rag. That thing mechanics are always doing right before they hook up to you. Welcome to Yard Hill Auto Body. You picking up or dropping off?
Dropping off, but with a particular request.
Do you have auto bodies available? Oh, I apologize. That was not the request.
Oh, I mean, that's okay. You can throw out that question. I'm sure they get that a lot.
Available. You want to buy a frame?
I think you would look lovely as an auto.
I am curious what frame options you have available, but is there anything that I could refurbish to myself?
All right. I'm going to admit I'm a little lost here. What are you people talking about?
We kind of got two things going on. One, this is my friend Ulez. Ulez is I would say maybe an aspiring gearhead. Very interested in vehicles, materials, building bodies, and the different kind of stuff that kind of goes on with. And secondarily, we also have this van that we kind of want painted, if that's the thing you do.
Well, painting vans I can do. If you want to learn about auto body, I suggest Baronsdale Upstairs Automotive College. And now, you got a van. What kind of van is it?
Oh, it's a Bard.
Oh, Bard. Okay.
Silver Bard, yeah.
Is that it out there? Kind of looks through the window.
Yep.
What are you looking to do to it? Like, you just want change the color, or you want some kind of custom stencil job? What kind of paint job we looking at here?
That's a great question. We're gonna. By the way, I'm Vion. I didn't introduce myself yet. Nice to meet you,
I'm Derek.
Derek. Yeah. One second.
Yeah, take your time.
What are we thinking? Do we want to just? Are we going for like a covert, nonchalant sort of thing, or do we kind of want like a little team van?
I'm
The
very
silver was
torn.
nonchalant. Perhaps we should be chalant.
Yeah, I'm voting for chalant as well.
I
Are we-
would like a flower painted on the back. That is my request. The back door that I often have to open.
Only the back.
Correct. The only door that I have used.
What are you thinking, Benny?
Well, my only worry is that if we're gonna be doing stuff like we did yesterday, they would be able to pinpoint us probably with much more accuracy if a very particular looking van was on the police scanner. But I also love the idea of a fun looking van. I'm very torn.
Okay. Let me.
Do you have a...
Oh yeah, no, you go ahead. You can ask Derek. Yeah.
Do you have a technology of rapidly changing materials?
Rapidly changing materials.
Just looking to the humans, just looking to all of them. Like, is this the power level? I don't remember.
Oh yeah, like do you, like any photosensitive paint or anything? Derek, I'm sorry. We're trying to do some next level stuff with this van. We love this van.
Next level, you talking what? Ejector seats, laser weapons? What are we talking here?
That's maybe
you
down the road,
install
Derek.
A laser weapon?
I'm sorry.
What caliber?
There was a joke.
How much force behind? Oh, okay.
Okay. So next level. Well, we do have that Tritone paint, which kind of looks a little bit different shade depending on how the light hits it. Sometimes it looks black, sometimes it looks purple, sometimes it looks blue. It's not the it's not the kind of thing you can control, but it's a very, very nice effect.
Yeah, because you
usually put
can't,
it on sports cars, but
got it. Yeah, unless you can control the light, you can't really control the color. Got it. So yeah, okay, that's one option.
And then I have paint.
Okay, that's the second option.
I can control light.
So I say we go with option one.
I think that's pretty good. And hear me out. What if we paint flowers on the inside of the van?
I would like that. That is where I've spent most of my time with the van.
You can see it more. Yeah.
Maybe have we could put like a tiny symbol of like our collective something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Derek. Doc, you feel good about that color changing light paint?
Yes. I think the augmented fourth paint is an excellent plan.
Right. So whole minivan.
Are we all putting sigils on doors?
If you have one in mind.
Yeah.
Cadrex is gonna start doing a quick idle sketch of the sigil for the Knights of Blue.
Yeah.
A little abstracted out, but yeah. And that's gonna go. I think they probably tend toward shotgun because they're long limbs, but they don't drive. And also, it's a good tactical position, like if you need to lean out and shoot someone or something. I don't know.
Benny, do you have a sigil or
Or a
Oh
sigil?
gosh. No, I don't think she would. She doesn't. I don't know if she wants to be associated with fire, and that's the only thing that would come to mind right away.
Sure,
So,
sure.
Yeah, probably no, actually.
Yep, you don't have to. Vion, anything? Or I guess it should be Derek. What about you?
Derek, real quick, let me just ask,
Yeah.
are you more of like into the mechanics of it, or are you into like the art of vehicles? Like the design?
I don't do the painting. We got a painting guy for that. fix cars and write up your estimate.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. In that case, I'm thinking like a pen that's leaking ink and the ink turns into a ghost.
Pen leaking ink turns into ghost. Well, it's different. I'll give you that. Okay, so we got a flower on the rear door. This thing on the shotgun side, and a pen leaking ink turning into a ghost. Where do you want that again?
I think the other passenger door in the back.
Other passenger door. All right, so that's 3 pieces of custom art. The entire outside done with the Tritone. Thinking that's going to be $4,000.
Okay.
Pianist?
Great. No.
$1,000.
I remember that once. I heard that. Yes.
By the way, I see we're about somewhere in the $90 vicinity. I'll tell you what. If we get to the $150, not only will I give you the parabolic microphone, but your mysterious benefactor can pay for the paint job.
That's kind.
Great. That'll be good.
2 of us have very little concept of money. One doesn't really work, and the other, I mean, I don't know beyond where you get your income from anymore.
Residuals.
Royalties. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
do we still have like $3,000 in cash that we stole from we took out of the safe?
I know Cadrax did request some of that
You
as a
did,
money
yep.
payment for
Yeah.
Abigail, who was hard up.
And then we
bought
did
some
buy a
cell
phone.
phones. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, between lunches and like the regular stuff that we
I
have to
forgot
buy.
we had that.
He might have some amount
Goes
for
quick.
like a smaller thing than this.
That's true. Okay. Yep.
Like we have incidentals for like the next, rest of the month.
Do we want like a team? I mean, while we're doing it, if we're already at 4K, do we want like a team sigil, like a collective symbol that we can put on the hood?
Oh,
Or is that
gosh.
maybe an add-on for later?
We should consider that properly.
Yeah, that's going to be a big
Perhaps
commitment.
all of this imagery can be synergized effectively.
Yeah, into like one thing. That makes sense. Okay, yeah, Derek, I think we're pretty much set.
Great. Just leave me the keys here, and you can pick it up on Saturday.
Okay.
I would like to return with you, Vion, when we collect the van. I have many more questions about auto bodies.
Yeah, I'm sure Derek would love to talk shop.
Oh, yeah, I live for it. Pleasure doing business with you. And he takes the keys and heads out to pull your van around.
Okay, well, should we just take a cab then to the village?
I don't think cabs allow dogs.
Not even inside of your giant bag that says IKEA.
That is, as far as I can tell, the primary distinction between public and private transportation, yes. Allows dogs in a large IKEA bag. Does not allow dogs in a large IKEA bag.
I don't want to chime in here, your advice, but it's like I think you can bring a dog in a cab, but that is up to you whether or not you want to act on that totally extraneous information that I probably should not have chipped in. So yeah, you want to try and cab or you want to subway it?
I mean, Doc's got a good point. We should probably subway it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And you head into the subways, and this is a long-ass ride, going all the way from Baronsdale all the way up to Rifton. It's going to take you a good, hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on how you make your connections or not, and, how often the trains stop in the middle of the tunnel. And while you are on the subway, there's a guy, he's listening to a radio, and it's, he's playing the news, and you hear... You are listening to WPRB with Connor Byrne. Tragedy struck late last night when Mayor Jan Lindell's limousine was involved in a deadly traffic accident on the Filbert-Gorey Expressway. The driver of the limo and the mayor's bodyguards, whose name are being withheld pending notification of their families, were both killed instantly. Meanwhile, Mayor Lindell himself and his chief advisor, Llewellyn Noble, are both in intensive care at Summerstone General Hospital, where they are listed in critical condition. With Mayor Lindell unable to execute his duties, Deputy Mayor Rona Carter will be assuming his office. We will be following this story very, very closely in the days to come, and we will keep you informed. This is Connor Byrne for WPRB. And it goes to commercials. And it takes you a couple hours to get up there, and with your stop at the auto body shop, you met Pete at noon. It's probably, 4 o'clock right now, as you arrive finally at Old Rifton Village. And it's a little bit of a walk from the subway, but when you get there, it is basically exactly what Pete described. It's kind of halfway between a historical site and a tourist trap. It's like colonial Williamsburg, but kind of smaller and dumpier. And there are, souvenir booths and food stands and kind of horse and buggies that that with drivers that you can hire to take you on an old-fashioned carriage ride. But none of them are doing much business because the crowd is pretty thin in the middle of Thursday afternoon. And you can see, there's like a stand where there's tours leave every 10 minutes from, and it looks like people are, a couple of people are getting in line for the next tour.
Should we hop on one of these tours?
I have very enjoyed the tours that I've been available to attend thus far. This would be lovely.
Let's do it.
Yes. We'll receive their briefing.
And it's a small crowd. The four of you basically double the size of the crowd, let's say. And then a woman, let's say she's Zazie Beetz. She comes up and she's wearing like old colonial garb and a tri-corner hat and kind of walks up and is like, "Hello and welcome to ye old Rifton Village. Or Deer Cove, as it was called way back in the 17th century. As you can see, the town proper is relatively small. You can walk from one end to the other in about 10 minutes. But if you will follow me, I will take you to the town square." And she kind of surveys the crowd, looks around, and just kind of this way, and walks, and the other tourists head off following her. And it's a short walk. Like she said, it's 10 minutes from basically end to end. And I won't make you roll for this because this is all, it's so small and this is all just out in the open stuff. If you want more, you can roll. But basically, it's like on the way there, you can basically see that, like, there's this town square, and then it's a square. Like there's it's like a big open area, and there are kind of old-timey houses that sort of surround the whole village. They say the houses are built kind of in a ring around the square. And when you get to the square, you see there are like a whole bunch of little old buildings, and she sort of points around and she's like, "Welcome to ye old town square. That's the general store where people used to get their goods and sundries." And she points over, and there's kind of this rickety old wooden building with some barrels out front. She's like, "And there is the church. It was built so early, they didn't even name it. It is literally just the Deer Cove Church. And over here, you can see stockades. Yes, Deer Cove had no jails. Evildoers and criminals were put in these stockades on display for all to see. And over there is what was once the town hall, but is now our visitor center, where you can get pamphlets and information about some of the other events that we do here. We also sell souvenirs like hats and T-shirts. If you want one of these," and she kind of waves the tri-corner hat with no enthusiasm. Over there is the public garden, where you find some of the plants and foods that they used to grow here in Deer Cove. That is beside the well, where the townspeople were able to draw their water from the ground. And there, the statue of the town founder. And why don't you take some time to survey, and I will wait over there by the statue for the next part of the tour, or in case anybody has any questions.
This has been a very good tour so far.
Yeah, very, very brisk.
Mhm.
Should we go ask a question about the burning?
I think that would be good. I would like to comment that your stockades are barbaric. The more I learn about how you treat your criminals, as you prefer to refer to them, the less I am comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, I would blame it on being an East Coast thing, but honestly, it was as bad, if not worse, where I'm from. So, yeah, just not great.
No, but I have learned that your general store provided sentries, and that's very nice.
But apparently
yeah.
not generals.
No.
No, it's like just like stuff. Is the like whatever you need. Anyone want to
Like
buy a
lower
hat?
ranked officers.
No, no, like just like non-perishable food most of the time, and then like nails and stuff, like trash bags.
So is that where we find the Solid Earth Man? The trash bags?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't know. I'm gonna go ask, I guess, really quickly to find out like where that the burning happened. So I'll be back.
Yeah,
Can
and
I-
Julian. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was gonna see if I could find the pamphlet of like other events and stuff that they have, because they might do like reenactments of stuff that I could ask where those things were happening if any of them seemed interesting. Find the location. the
Sure, those
cities that
are
they have.
inside the town hall / visitor center.
Mhm.
And Vion, you're gonna go talk to Jolena, the tour guide,
Mhm.
and Ulez, what are you doing?
I don't know. What's Cadrax doing? We're both like, this is all very new and bizarre to us.
Well, certainly Cadrax looks to Ulaz and looks to the public garden, recognizing this might be of their interest, but Cadrax is themselves going to ping, if nothing else. Looking perhaps if there were to be a secondary facility, and thinking, for instance, about Declan's, there would be a different material, a strange location, something that feels out of place within a few miles of here in terms of how it's put together. If Cadrax were to keep someone like Curtis with the voice, that they have to be doing something chemical or have something so reinforced that I would notice.
Oh, wow. It looks like we have unlocked the second tier. So you get your parabolic microphone and bonus, the paint job for your van. Thank you so much,
Yay,
everybody.
we
Thank
couldn't afford
you.
it.
Yay!
We would have to like, all right, you keep the van. I'm sorry, we can't pay you for it.
So yeah, if we get to 250, that opens up the lore drop, and then that's it. So thank you so much, everyone. So all right, let's start with Benny. Yeah, you head on into the town hall and the visitor center, and when you walk in there, there's an information desk, but there is nobody at it, and there's one of those little stands that's got like 1,000 pamphlets in it, and
Yeah, I want to look for any that have history and any that talk about like the events that they host here.
Okay, make an intellect roll.
Not great. 5.
5. You thumb through the pamphlets, and there's nothing super interesting in there. It looks like they do like buggy racing on Friday nights in warm weather. There is a fireworks show on the 4th of July. There is there's a demonstration of 17th century cookery, where they show you the kind of things that they used to cook and demonstrate some simple dishes. There is a tour of the church that is, just kind of takes you through like architectural history of that building, and that's kind of it. No.
Where I want to go up. Is there like a bell on the info desk?
Sure. You ring the bell?
Yeah.
Okay, you ring the bell. Theon, you are outside, and you went to go talk to Jolena?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she's standing by the statue of the town founder, just kind of leaning against it, looking extremely, bored. And you walk up to her. Tell you what, make an intellect roll.
Okay. Can I put investigation on this?
Yeah, sure. I assume you're a detective. Your eyes are always kind of scanning
What is
around.
wrong? Okay, I'm still gonna use them. But 8.
8. Okay. Yeah, you look around. She just looks bored. She's leaning against the statue. The statue is a man is a tall guy, kind of broad-shouldered, wearing, kind of pilgrimy garb. And there's a plaque on it. It says, Nathaniel Stoughton, 1620 to 1675, beloved husband, father, town founder.
Interesting.
If I had to cast the statue, he looks like Christoph Waltz.
Oh wow. Okay. I just gotta say, great tour so far.
Thanks. I wrote it myself.
Yeah. I mean, listen, you probably shuffle people in all day and all day out, but and they're looking around and buying the hats and stuff. But my name's Vion. I'm actually a mystery novelist, and I was kind of looking just for like an interesting like hook, something local, something real.
You write anything I would have read?
Do you know The Dark Window?
Oh my god, like the movie?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they made the movie. Yeah.
Oh my god, I love that movie. Me and my friend used to get drunk and rip on it all the time. It's like, it's one of my best memories.
Thank you for watching it. It paid, that was money in my wallet. So, and I didn't have anything to do with the movie. So please, I'm right there with you. That's that's a little bit of a Friday night kind of,
Well, more power to you, Vion. What can I do for the guy who didn't have anything to do with the Dark Window movie?
I heard a whisper about sort of a darker history behind this spot that I was wondering if I could ask you about.
Make a willpower roll.
Okay. Okay, 9.
What kind of darker history?
I heard that, and I would like to glance around. I'm not worried about being overheard, but it just kind of casts that sense of intimacy. I heard that someone was burned here.
Oh, that darker history. Well, and on that, you start to hear like a ringing sound from inside the town hall, and she's like, "Oh man, hang on, I gotta get this." And then she kind of goes like jogging inside the town hall, and she's
Who the
kind of
hell is?
jumps behind the information desk, and it's to Benny, and she's like, "Yeah, you want to buy one of the T-shirts or something?"
Oh no, I just wanted to ask if you had like what I bet you knew that Vion went to go talk to her. It's like, do you have like an events list for like the next week or so? Or I guess yearly too. It doesn't have to be this week. Just like what are your standard event things?
Well, we don't do much in November except the church tour and the cooking demonstrations. The church tours are on Mondays and Fridays, and the cooking demonstration is on Wednesday night.
Great. I am so sorry to pull you away from things you were doing. Can I buy a T-shirt?
Yeah, absolutely. And she starts showing you the shirts on the wall.
She picks one at random and buys it so that this lady can go back out.
Yeah, you've got a T-shirt now that says, "My parents went to old Rifton Village and all I got was ye old lousy T-shirt."
Perfect.
Now, while you're doing
my
that,
inventory.
Ulez and Kadrax, what are you doing?
I think Kadrax is going to ping, which means like I picture that they're kind of like stationary, and Ulez looks over at them like, "Are you? I am. Okay, I'm just going to go by the garden over there."
Yeah, and Ulez, the garden is not super impressive. It's got some carrots and some lettuce growing in it, and nothing compared to the Port Ruby Arboretum. It's and doesn't look like it's particularly well tended. While you're looking that over, Kadrax, do you want to make your ping roll?
Yes. Today is Thursday?
Thursday.
Right, because yesterday was Wednesday because the Arboretum was open, which is how we lost Tulas in the first place.
Yes, it was a long day for you on Wednesday.
What
which is my fault.
did
but-
Curtis go missing? Was Curtis yoinked?
Curtis was
I
yoinked.
think it's like a Tuesday or something.
A day or two
Yeah.
before that?
Hang on, I can tell you.
Right, was it on a day that there was an event?
Curtis was taken on.
If you have to search that much, I mean, probably not.
Right.
I think he was taken on Monday, October 19th. Trying to confirm that.
Okay, so a church tour day.
Oh, no, it might have
There were separate
been.
events.
No, it actually might have been the day before. It might have been Sunday. Sunday.
I think I got the answer I needed.
Yeah, okay. I will confirm that for you later during the break. But
Yeah.
sometimes it can be hard to dig through that stack of papers. But
That
so
was
what
a
do you
10 on the ping check.
Okay, that'll be cool. And you release your ping, and in the direction that you ping, you because your ping is directional, right? It's you pick up that. I mean, it's basically what you see. It's just these buildings. You can tell behind the church there is a graveyard, and you can tell scattered around the town hall underneath the ground, there are also little pockets of a certain size. Tell you what, make an intellect roll. Red dice are failing me now, too. I need another color.
That's all right. This die was not lovely to me. 8.
8. You would guess that these might also be graves that are missing markers.
Oh, no, sorry, 7. It's a 7.
Okay, you can still have that information. Yeah, roughly like you would guess probably about the size of coffins, little pockets scattered around that look like they are coffins without grave markers.
Scattered, proximate to any residences that I might infer, locate.
Just kind of throughout, the town square and like underneath the streets that go between the buildings and things like that. They do not, they seem to be pretty well spread out, almost as if, maybe all this area was once a cemetery before they built on it, or maybe, they took to burying, when the cemetery filled up, they took to burying people in random spots or something. But like, it's just kind of scattered around in the open spaces. You don't detect any under any buildings or anything like that. But otherwise it's like, there's, they are relatively randomly, there might be one under the garden or something. There might be one, near where the statue is or near where the well is or things like that. But there doesn't seem to really be a pattern to it.
Don't put them near the well. Don't contaminate the ground. I'm fine.
Oh, it was
They didn't know.
1674.
They
Yeah,
did not know that there's a whole lot of human history based on the fact they did not know. Okay. I will then follow after Ulez, not having found anything particularly suspicious or of tactical relevance in the area. As long as the dead are not moving around.
You don't detect
I will
anything like that,
temporarily pause them as something of direct and immediate interest.
Yeah, in fact, I'll even say it's like, based on your ping, you could say that's like, none of them seem like they are fresh graves, and nothing seems to be moving. Like all the dirt is of an even density, evil density.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's my next movie, Evil Density, coming soon. Yeah, otherwise, Vion, you see Jolena come like running back out, and she comes back and she's like, okay, dark history.
I would say I followed her back. I've got the t-shirt on.
She looks at you and said, did you also write a bad movie?
Oh, I'm visiting with him.
And I wrote the book.
Oh, right. Good book. Right. Okay. So yeah, I mean, we're not supposed to talk about this part of the tour, but because it's supposed to be for kids. But yeah, this town apparently had a seriously scary problem with witch burning back in the day. I guess did not like women around here or something. And it just, apparently there was in the 17th century, a little craze went on. And it's like, apparently there were burnings sort of held in a lot of the surrounding villages that are gone now, and I think they even had one in the field out behind the cemetery behind the church.
Oh wow, there was one that happened right there.
I mean, that's what I hear from the last tour guide who they fired before they gave me this outfit.
Oh geez, fired for talking about it or just for?
No, I think it was fired for smoking weed.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I mean, if that's all right. Well, no comment, I guess. That's like. I mean, like, is there like anything left of that where it's like this for sure happened here, or is it that's just kind of like hearsay?
I mean, it's mostly hearsay. I got to tell you, it's not on the tour, so I've never really been out there because between me and you, I don't care about any of this stuff. It's just how I'm paying my way through junior college.
No, I get it. Yeah, and this stuff is all told from one point of view. So, well, great. Well, thank you so much. That's interesting. I mean, we're just gonna wander around. The whole vibe of this area is just weird to me. So that's at the very least an inspiration point. There seems to be something off energy wise. But we'll be sure to give you a real good rating though, if that helps at all.
Yeah, thank you so much. There's like a card inside the visitor center there you can fill out and let them know how your tour was. But otherwise, I'll tell you, the rest of the tour is boring as heck.
Okay. That's very good to know because some of our friends were asking about it. Okay, well, yeah, we'll go fill out. Honestly, you've been such a help. We're gonna go fill out those cards right now. And thank you.
Thank you. And she sort of walks back to the tour. Is like, all right, people, time for the second half. Gather around. And like the other four people kind of gather around her. She starts droning on about something.
So we got to go check out that church, right?
Yeah. I do want to make sure that I do leave a
fill
comment,
cards,
though, because I'd feel bad otherwise.
Mm-hmm. That's why I bought the shirt.
That makes What is you got the one that says your parent? Okay.
It was the first one. She seemed frazzled, so it was the first one she pointed at, and I just said, "Yeah."
That's funny. You're wearing a shirt that's a lie, and I think that's funny.
Yeah. I think that's why I liked it after I got it. I didn't really read it till afterwards. And anyways, do you think there are ghosts here?
That's a good question.
That was unrelated, but it was a follow-up thought, and I was already talking. You can see them, right?
Yeah. If we can get to a place where no one's gonna spot me, I'll ghost real quick. That's a great idea, Manny.
It was behind the church. I'm assuming that's where it's not visible to here, so you can probably check it out there.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so let's quickly leave a comment card, and then we're gonna go check out the church.
Kadrax, you rejoining the group now?
Yeah. I think
So what do you do with your evildoers?
Oh, we repair them. We take out the parts that have encouraged them to do wrong, and we offer them a rather different solution. We don't like to give them too many options. It's normally, would you like this core that is red and produces a lot of heat? Or would you like this hand, which you can no longer perform violent acts, but has a replacement in which it can be a trowel?
Do you solely alter the physical components of your citizens, or is this also a process of mental re-education or brainwashing?
Oh, the re-education. Simply because you cannot simply replace a part and expect that it'll work. There are neurons that have to be attached. You have to be able to adapt to the replacement piece that you have, and it might not always fit. When I was younger, I once had legs that were taller than the length of my body. Honestly, my parentals did not agree with that choice, but I lived a good 15 rotations around the small sun in which I tried out those limbs, and they were not suited for me.
I understand. Long bipedal limbs really are a strange engineering choice. I found it in this as well. Has it been successful for you, the re-education?
Oh,
for your
yes.
society, I mean. I wouldn't presume about you personally.
Oh, no, it has been absolutely wonderful. We work on rehabilitation. That is truly the only resolution that we have found to be successful. May I ask as well, how do you handle this with your people? Do you have criminals?
So long as there are acts that others cannot abide, and yet we have agency to perform, there will be people who do them. Sometimes the sort of arbitration or rehabilitation you describe is used, but people of my society are somewhat conflict averse. Among humans. I point at someone who's just like super like the rock stacked or whatever. You can easily visibly observe their capacity for aggressive conflict, whereas with my species, our power is in our voice. We pick fewer fights and do... Well, when there is conflict, it is decisive.
That is rather telling. Has it been a long time? Oh, let me grab this lettuce and we'll walk back towards the crew.
Yes, lettuce.
It's lovely. Mostly water, but it does possess some vitamin A and vitamin K.
K is important toward clotting factor.
I did not know that. I'm still determining the resource and the necessity for human vitamins. But
they're fascinating. I'll tell you at a later date.
I would like that.
As you walk away, that big stacked guy, kind of puts his arms around the statue of the town founder, and he's like, and he takes like a selfie, like smiling with the town founder. And now you're rejoining everybody, and you are headed to the area behind the graveyard, is what you said.
Yep.
Quick question, Rick.
Yeah.
In the shop that we were in the visitor center where we were leaving our comments, in the store, would we have to get our tour guide back to buy something additionally?
You would have to ring the bell, yeah.
Oh, dang. Okay. Well, at some point, I would just turn to Benny and just go, should I get this for the dock? And it's like a penny whistle.
Ooh. I feel like they'd think that was cool.
Right?
They seem to at least kind of have interest in instruments.
Yeah.
Good place to start as any.
We'll I don't want to bring our tour guide back, so we'll just wait for the next round of folks to come through. I guess we'll go take care of our investigation thing, and then we'll come back for the penny whistle. I guess.
Right. Yeah. So you head out behind the church, and the church is it's a relatively small building, clearly built for a small town, and the graveyard behind it is you can barely even read. It's like it's so old. The tombstones, all the writing has basically worn off of them. They just kind of look like blank slabs, and the whole place is kind of overgrown, and again does not look super well kept. And then behind it, you see it's like the town is basically kind of surrounded by like large empty fields, and beyond the fields there's like a chain link fence that basically encloses like all of old Rifton. And right behind the church, I tell you what, why don't you make an investigation roll? That's what you can just see just by looking.
I don't. Yeah, 8.
Okay, beyond the graveyard, there is kind of tall grass, and the tall grass, it's mostly kind of flat, but there's clearly like one area that is like a little bit higher than the rest of the earth around it. Looks like there might have once been a building there, or there might have once been something. It's like now just kind of a an overgrown mound, but clearly there is like a conspicuous bump in the middle of it all.
Let's go check that out. Let me walk over. Doc, do you want to ping the area, or have you done that already, or?
I'll point out what I know and what I've observed at the cemetery, as well as the existence of pockets of graves in... They didn't know.
Okay, great. No one drink any of the water.
So
Yeah.
now what are you're gonna post cog the mound, or wait, what are you doing?
Yeah, well, I'll do a cursory investigation of the mound really quickly, if that's all right. If
Okay,
there's anything
yep.
interesting. Come on, not a 1, just not a 1. What is why?
Really?
So 8 again. I don't know why.
And it is just, it is just a grassy mound that is, I will say, from closer up, you can see that it looks conspicuously circular. It does not look very much like a natural formation. It looks like somebody must have at one point piled dirt, left a pile there that then grass grew over, something like that.
Okay, I'm gonna post cog. Actually, first, as long as no one's around, I'm gonna ghost to see if I see any ghosts.
Okay. Well, you don't have to roll to ghost, and you don't have to roll to see ghost. So, yeah, you phase into ghost form, and when you look around, you can see that at the edge of the cemetery there is the ghost of what looks like a grave digger, and he is just kind of digging, just over and over again, shoveling something. But like many of the other ghosts you've seen, or all the other ghosts you've seen, does not seem to be aware of your presence or react to you in any way.
Okay, everyone, I'm seeing a gravedigger, kind of off in the distance, but that's pretty much it. He ain't doing too much else.
Is it presumptuous to ask that? Why do you not see the forms of those who were burned here?
That's a great question. I don't know, and thank you for saying. I don't think it's presumptuous at all. I honestly don't know.
Okay, I'm not familiar with all of your abilities. I did enjoy that one time I saw a ghost. They seemed nice.
It's pretty cool, right? Yeah, this one's kind of just. I mean, it's a hard gig. I don't blame him. But I will now. I'll recorporealize, and I will try to post cog the mound.
Okay, Vion, make your postcard roll.
Here we go. Okay, coming out of nowhere here. That's going to be a 9.
Okay, that is...
Great, and I don't have burnout.
And you don't have burnout. Okay,
Nope.
That will be... Okay, that's a major success. Are you broadcasting this?
Yes, please.
Okay, so when Vion reaches down and touches the mound and posts cogs, he's connected with all of you. And what happens is something you have never seen before, Vion. The second you post cog, there is like this weird green flash in the sky. And suddenly, when you look around, now you can see ghosts everywhere. And you can all see them. It's like the whole ghosts, like all the ghosts of the whole town are now there, and you can see them walking through streets. Some are standing in the graveyard, some are walking by the church. There are kids playing in the fields. The whole town has come to life with ghosts all around you. And even when your post-cog stops, they are all still there. And while you are watching that, let's take a 10-minute break, and we'll meet you right back here. Welcome back. And I hope you all had a nice, restful break. We are at, I think, $160. If we get to $250, we get that lore drop tonight. And whatever the case is, whatever happens, we are super grateful for everything y'all have donated so far. And we will pick up, right where we left it, as this town has kind of come to life around you, or come to death around you. Wow, I got to think about that turn of phrase. As a literal ghost town. And you are standing in that field, watching the ghosts kind of run around and, just do their thing. They seem to you, Vion, more lively than a lot of the ghosts you have seen before. Even that gravedigger seems now to have, gained a little awareness, and he waves at another ghost going by. He sees the little kids playing and kind of shouts something at them. What do y'all want to do?
Oh, wow. I have never seen this amount of ghosts. I'm going to reach out and touch one.
Okay. So who do you want to touch? There's the gravedigger who's over by the cemetery. There are the kind of little kids running around, kind of playing tag.
Head pat one. I want to head pat a child.
So as you start walking over towards the ghost child, they sort of stop running around in circles, and they look up at you, and they're like, and then one of them kind of runs over and hits you on the leg and goes tag, and then kind of they start like running in the other direction.
Did I feel it?
No, the hand passes right through you.
Huh. I have been tagged. For what purpose? I am unclear. And then they're going to turn back to Dion.
You look at what?
I look for snipers.
Snipers?
Like, shooting from position. They're tagged.
That's. I mean, it made sense to. Yep. Vion, I do not know how to proceed.
Yeah, this is kind of a first for me as well. Hey, everybody, I'd like to say to the ghosts.
And the little kids don't pay any attention, and the gravedigger guy looks up and says, "What are you doing back here? Not supposed to be back here. This is the church's land."
Yeah, that's a good point. Hey, what are you up to right now?
Digging a hole.
Oh yeah, I mean that's your job. When do you get off?
I usually work till about sundown.
Okay. And then you're going home after that?
Where else would I go?
Okay, I'd like to turn to the rest of the group so they don't know then.
Do they normally talk to you?
No, no ghost has ever talked to me before.
Kind of looks over at you and he's like, "What you doing back here? This land belongs to the church. Can't be back here."
Are they looping?
Is this your job? Let's find out.
Yeah. Digging the hole.
And then, and when are you done with work?
Usually around sundown.
Okay, yeah. So this is a loop.
This is fascinating. Huh.
And as you're standing there, realize that little kid comes running by again. Tag! And then goes like running back off into the field.
Huh. I am piecing parts together that I might not have any right to do so, but is it rational to assume that these are the moments before they have died?
Whoa. That's a good question.
There is no trauma in this situation at all. This all seems as average as I can expect for humans.
Let's try one thing real quick. Gravedigger.
What are you doing back here?
Yeah.
This is the church's land.
Yeah, I know. What year is it?
And he looks real stuck. It's this year.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And what year is that again? Remind me. The year of our Lord.
1674.
1674. Well, shoot, I think we overshot the burning.
Ah.
What are you doing back here? Can't be here. This is the church's land.
Hey, you see anyone with green robes?
And when you say that, he kind of... No. And he just goes, puts his head
What way
down.
did he look? Where did he look?
They just looked down to the ground at the hole he was digging. And... Tell you what. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Ulez, when he looks down at the ground, you catch something in his face, like a nervousness or something.
But you do know about these individuals in dark robes.
He looks back up at you. No. He looks back down at the hole and starts digging again.
He is not being honest with us.
Okay. How much, sir? How much are they paying you?
What are you doing back here?
Oh my god.
You can't be back here.
Sir, how much do you make a day?
Not a proper question.
Okay, well, here's a proper answer. We'll double it if you answer a question for us. In fact, we'll triple it. And I would like to turn to Ulez and give a little thumbs up.
Make a willpower roll.
Okay. And can I add performance on this?
Sure.
Okay, 9.
Triple it. Let me see your money.
Oh. And I turn back. Dang it, they probably had old money back then, didn't they?
I did not absorb that part of the information on the tour. I think they had coins.
I have a bunch of like bus fare, laundry money in my bag. Can at least give you something that looks shiny and
sure. Make a willpower roll.
Oh boy, okay, I'm involved now. Here we go. Oh God, 8.
8. And he kind of looks at his. Is that gold?
You found
Silver.
it. Yep. Yep. And yeah.
And he kind of holds out his hand to you.
Answer first, and then we hand it over.
Make a willpower roll.
Oh my god.
I will keep it held out so it doesn't look like I'm withholding it from him, but I feel like it's gonna hit the ground if I give it to him.
9. I'm not adding performance on this because that wasn't really a performance.
Just haggling.
Yeah.
And he looks like, real hesitant and kind of troubled. And what do you want? You can't be back here. This is the church's land.
Yeah. Have you seen anyone with green robes?
Make a willpower roll.
Oh my god.
I think we're playing Skyrim.
Yeah. 5.
Not talking to you.
I shake the coins a little bit.
Then don't
Make a
talk to me.
willpower roll.
the church.
Yeah.
Oh.
Any another willpower roll.
Oh, no. God, again, 8.
And he holds out his hand to you again.
Answer first. I'll put it here. I'm gonna put it on the ground. Like, I don't want to. If it goes through his hand, I don't know if I'll be like, put it on the ground. I'm with my foot on it, and say, "I will walk away when you answer our questions."
What's your questions?
Have you seen anyone in green robes?
He kind of looks behind him.
We're gonna get it.
He looks around, kind of really nervous, keeps checking around. They're everywhere.
Any follow-up questions? Because I'm not sure where to go with this. I turn to Vion.
Holds out his hand again.
This might not be the nicest thing I've ever done to you, Rick. As a player to a GM, I would like to reach out.
Abuse me, please. Go ahead. Yeah.
I would like to reach out and touch his hand and phase him to see if that reverse phases.
Okay.
I don't know if
This
it's
is
like
probably
too low
something we
stake
might have.
or like it's just
we
gonna
did-
explode.
Reverse phases. And nothing happens.
Okay.
Your hand just passes through him, and whether you are in solid or phased form, he is phased, and you just cannot connect with him.
So he is unfazed by the whole encounter.
Wow. You're either getting a bonus or you're getting fired.
Why not both?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and then he kind of holds out his hand to Benny again.
The coin is on the ground, so I don't have anything.
And he puts his-
Everywhere isn't worth coin.
Yeah. Yep.
What are you doing here?
Ah!
Can't be here. And while he starts going into his spiel again, Ulez and Benny, you catch real quickly out of the corner of your eyes through the wall of the church. You see this kind of hooded head peek through, like phase through, and then like pull back. And then the gravedigger says, "This is the church's land. It can't be here."
It is, and we are very sorry for the inconvenience. And Benny's like trying to see if anyone else caught that, and I'm assuming makes eye contact with Ulez. I was like,
Was that who we were looking for?
it might be. I think maybe we should check out the church.
There's
What's
a
going
bad
on?
green hood. We saw somebody. They were through the building of the church, and it looked like something you would do if you were in a green robe.
I'm moving. I'm walking back towards
Wait,
that window. Like-
I'm gonna phase and I'm gonna run right through the wall of the church.
Okay.
just trust us so implicitly. We're like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, Vion, you go running towards the church wall, and as you like disappear through it, the three of you see here the gravedigger's just like, "Hey, you can't be in there. That's the church." And yeah. And then he kind of looks down and goes back to his digging. Vion, you pass into the church easily. And as you get in there, I'll tell you what, make a coordination roll, do me a favor.
Okay.
See how fast you went?
7.
You don't see anything. I mean, or you don't see anybody. You see, a couple of church pews. There is like a podium-ish, kind of like old-looking, podium where probably the reverend stood, and you can see like a confessional booth tucked into the corner. Otherwise, the whole place is just one big room.
Got it. I'll wait till my friends get to the church, and then I'm gonna recorporealize, and I'd like to postcog the church.
We're probably nowhere near as quick as you. We have to walk all the way around, avoid the tourists, because I don't know if we're still in Ghost Town without you here.
Well, once he leaves, it's like, yes, the ghosts seem to remain for you now, as if whatever happened to Vion turned something on. And those ghosts, like when you come around the front of the building, the town square is now full of the ghosts of town people, and they are all going about their business as if alive. There are people standing over the well. There's somebody hoeing in the garden. There are people like standing and talking on the steps or at the town hall. Just a busy scene of all ghosts that you can all see, and none. You don't see the tour guide anywhere anymore. You don't see any of the other tourists that were with you. They're either somewhere else or something else is happening.
Okay.
You both can also see the human choir beyond. Yes?
Are they still around? Yeah. We ask to the skies.
And there's a woman hoeing the garden, and she kind of looks over at the three of you, and she's like, "You want to give me some help here?"
We are needed in the church.
Fine. She kind of goes back to hoeing.
Make sure you water the land very well, or your lettuce in 300 years won't be very good.
She turns back to you. You want to give me some help here?
Cadrax, Benny.
We are needed in the church.
Thank you. I am very sorry. We must go.
Fine. She turns and starts hoeing again.
Yeah, we go to the church.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you walk in and you see Vion. He is, on the far side, having entered, through the back wall. And otherwise, like it's the empty room that I described.
Are they still ghosts outside?
Yes.
Okay.
Is this typical for the human choir?
No. Not in my experience, Benny.
Nope. Nah.
Yeah, I ain't never seen anything like this, and I'm a ghost, so,
Do you see any evidence, ghost or otherwise, of the robe previously observed?
No, but I'm going to quickly postcog the church, and I'd like to put my hand on a pew. I think it was probably the smartest place. And I would like to postcog.
Give me a roll.
Okay, 9.
9. Okay, Okay. When you postcog and you're still broadcasting so everyone can see this, you just kind of see some kind of ghosts flash through the pews, like people sitting there, they appear, they disappear real fast. It's not how your usual postcog works. It's like something's fritzy now, and it's like the people like pop into the pews and then they disappear, and then the room is empty again.
Huh.
I did not see the figure with the green hood, and I was not lying when I said that I spotted them inside of the building.
Oh, I believe you.
Of course not. You didn't have your thumb up.
Thank you.
Cadrax.
Yes.
As you say that, you see behind you, or behind the other three, like through the wall, there is the ghost of a woman kind of puts her head through the wall. If I was casting her, I would say she's Eva Green. And she is, old-timey 17th century kind of, pilgrimy clothes. And she leans her head through the wall and goes, and then she disappears back out the wall.
It's the wrong person to say that to. And I charge?
Huh?
At the wall?
I think I'll run forward, spin, grab Vion's hand with a quick eye lock.
Yeah, we ghost.
Both of you make coordination rolls.
Oh, that's such a cool move.
Again,
Please
Leon,
work.
you're implicit trust in
10.
everything we do.
Yeah,
So
it's
good.
gonna work. I rolled a 1.
5. Okay, great.
Yeah, God, all right. So yeah, the two of you come right through the wall, and
God, that's
first
so cool.
you don't see anything, but then kind of just down a street through a corner, you see her kind of like peek out, and she goes, and then kind of disappears behind the corner again.
As soon as we phase through, I do want to drop and like not take excessive contact, especially if you're about to phase our friends. But I make sure you see where she's gone.
Yeah, I'll catch up.
Yeah.
And I phase back through the wall to grab Benny and Ulez.
There's a moment where like Benny and Ulez are just looking at each other like, are we supposed to follow? Or
And then Vian goes like through, like, oh, okay.
okay.
We see a lady, and I want to like grab both of your hands.
Okay,
Great, you
and-
phase out, and we're running in that direction. I would assume the dock is well ahead of us.
Did you wait for them, or did you go ahead, Sam? Cadrex?
I charge. So
Okay.
there's
Cadrex
conservation
we're talking
of momentum, and dog, as you may hear, is with me as well. So hopefully picking up the scent, the ethereal scent, the scent of ectoplasm. I don't know, but we're running after things. Dogs like chasing.
You go charging. Make a coordination roll. Oh, god damn. All right, I'm switching back to the green dot.
9.
Okay, yeah. You go charging, and Dog following you for a second, but then Dog kind of sees some other ghosts just walking around peripherally and sort of gets distracted and kind of heads off in another direction. As you kind of chase down the alley, or this path. It's not an alley. It's like a path that leads between these kind of small buildings, like towards that outer ring of houses that, I said sort of surrounded that town square. And as you get there, you see her back as she walks into one of these small kind of one-room houses.
I whistle for Dog. I would be deeply irresponsible.
Since you are Cadrax, I'm not going to make you make a whistling roll, since I assume that this is something that you can do in your sleep. You don't actually sleep, but you know what I mean. After a little while, Dog comes like chasing around the side, and returns towards you're behind you, heels at you.
Yeah. But thereafter, gonna vault in the window to that house.
Vault in the window?
We're maintaining momentum. I think is really the idea here. Like,
make a coordination roll.
Momentum. Like we're moving. 9 again.
9. All right. Yeah. It is an old-timey house. The window is essentially just like an open kind of cut in the wall that has, like a sheet kind of hanging over it, some kind of cloth. And you go diving in, and the cloth kind of comes down on top of you, and you kind of, you kind of have a cape over your head a little bit. And as you pull it off, you see that that woman is kind of standing over you, and she looks at you, and she says, "Is it you?"
No.
And the other 3 of you, I would say probably about now, this is not that far of a distance, you have arrived. And how do you enter? Do you stay outside? What do the 3 of you do?
We probably go in.
We phase right through, right?
You phase right through.
We might even tumble.
And as you phase through, she kind of turns to see you, and then she's like, "It is you. The light and the thunder, the fire and the spirit." And she smiles, and she said you would come. And long have I waited. And she motions towards a chair.
Just one?
There's just one. It's a very small room.
We greet you.
I greet you.
Ah.
And she kind of can't help but smiling, and sort of tears kind of form in her eyes. I am Bridget Poole.
My name is Ulaz Gali. These are my companions.
Hello.
And she walks towards you, Ulaz, and sort of tries to kind of give you a hug, but her arms just pass through you. Welcome to you and to your companions. And she looks at Vion. You're one of us?
Sorta.
You're the spirit. And she goes to kind of touch you, and as her hand passes through you, she kind of pulls it back. Oh, you're something different.
I get that a lot, yeah.
Who told you of us?
That's a good question.
Guinevere.
Yeah, but I mean, who's Guinevere?
The sacrifice.
Person who was burned?
Yeah, but to you, how do you know Guinevere?
This was our home.
Oh.
Guinevere and I, we used to laugh so much. I loved her laughter. Until when she kind of chokes back tears, as her sort of smile fades a little bit. Until he took her.
Who was that? Who took her?
The Honorable Reverend Nathaniel Stoughton and his solidary. Stoughton was always an evil man, but an ordinary one. And then the day came when he learned of special people who can work miracles, like Guinevere. And he became a student of the occult. He learned his own magic, but even that was not enough. So he formed his solidarity of man. And most of them knew not what they did. He convinced them that people like Guinevere were witches and devils. His followers believed he led them down a righteous path, but of course, good intentions are what paved the road to hell. In truth, Stoughton, he has no interest in fighting witches or devils. He's just like all other evil men. He cares only for his own power, and he will tell any lie he has to increase or maintain it. And he can twist good people until they're bad, and bad people until they're worst. And his powers are vast. He burned Guinevere, and then he hid her body away from me. In the well, in the town square. She's trapped by his magic, and there is nothing that I can do. And she kind of swipes at the chair, and you see her hands passing through it.
Just because there is nothing that you can do doesn't mean that we cannot assist. Isn't that correct, Vion? My experience with you all has been assistance.
Yeah. We can absolutely help. We can do whatever you need.
You have to free her. Her spirit is... He is trapped it down there somehow, and there's nothing that I can do. And she swipes again, sort of now looping a little bit, but then she kind of pulls herself together. You must be careful. He'll know you're here.
We saw someone in a green cloak seem to notice us. Is that probably doesn't bode well for us?
They're everywhere.
Okay.
One
All right, well,
question.
let's... Oh, yeah,
I
go
might-
ahead, Doc.
Why did she foretell us?
She cannot help what she sees.
was it?
She saw light and thunder and fire and spirit. The end of them. And she kind of pulls herself together again. And she goes, shh. They'll know you're here.
They're everywhere.
And she nods.
I need to know, if we rescue her, if we save her, will that reunite her with you? You're the green-cloaked people. They have taken somebody from me, and I want to be reunited with them. Can I do the same for you? Can we do the same for you?
I was not the one who can do miracles and have visions. I don't know what happens, but you must free her. And then she kind of, I'll know you're here.
Don't you worry about that. We got this. Shall we?
Yes.
All right, I hold out my hands so we can all phase through the wall.
And she stays behind, and just kind of as you walk out, you can hear her saying, they'll know you're here. And as you pass through the wall, the four of you together,
Mm-hmm.
you walk out, and the first thing you see is that this building is now surrounded by ghosts in green robes. And make investigation rolls. Oh, wow. It looks like we unlocked the lore drop. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Good. I'm excited about getting this one on the record.
7.
So much lore.
7.
12.
12?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I maxed it out.
Okay, yeah. Damn straight you did. 5.
7.
7. Okay. Kadrax, plainly apparent to you. Vian and Ulez, you kind of pick it up. Benny, it doesn't quite register with you. These robes are very similar to the robes that you saw the teleporters wearing, but they're also a little different. They seem to be kind of a thicker material. They're kind of they look like like they're made from like hemp fiber or something, where the other ones were kind of a little more modern looking, and these are heavier. The hoods are much bigger. The sleeves are much larger, and otherwise they are very kind of similar. They go all the way to the ground, and they kind of hoods that kind of hide the heads of the people wearing them.
The tailor was in on the conspiracy. Think about how much time you spend on those robes. How many robes there are, how much it takes per robe, the clear build quality of said apparel.
Well, they are also, you realize, very slow, very lightly chanting. And as you hear just over and over and over again, they are saying, Virtus pertinent ad potentes, virtus pertinent ad potentes, virtus pertinent ad potentes. Just over and over and over.
Okay, great. I'm gonna just keep going.
Walk through them. See.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
You guys keep doing that. You do, yeah, real good. Keep practicing. And I just, so all of you know, there is this sort of like anger starting to set in with like Vion, like from just like everything that's been shared. So he's just like walks like, I want to blast right through the rope guys.
Oh, take the ones on the right, my friend. Do it.
Okay, so you are basically just kind of trying to push your way through.
I mean, I've walked through. I've failed to tangibly interact with any of the ghosts so far, so I have no reason to believe they would be any different.
So you go walking on through, and as you get close, one of them raises a hand, and you run into it.
I punch him right in the face.
Vion, roll initiative.
Yeah. Yes.
Both of these
Cadrak's
guys
so
are out
proud.
to get me.
5. It's not the
5.
best, but you know.
Oh wow! What's your coordination?
It's
Your
3.
coordination's
Yeah.
No, your coordination's 4, Vion.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
Am I
it
thinking
must
wrong?
not be updated on that one because I have it updated on my sheet as 4.
Great. So you
yeah,
bumped it up by 1, 6.
yeah. Okay, so okay, you go first. You throw a punch, make a prowess roll.
Great. Okay, I'm maxed out. That right there is going to be a 10.
Oh wow, yeah, and you hit this ghost, and they just go kind of falling back and just fall onto the ground, and you see like puts hands to his face as like his hood kind of comes back, and it's some guy, and he kind of rubs himself, his lip as if as if he's like bleeding or something. And you definitely did damage. And the others start chanting louder now. Just over virtus pertentet ad pertentes, and as they do, everybody roll initiative.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do I stick with my number, Rick, or should I re-roll?
No, you're on the board.
Oh, fucking nice. First good roll of that tonight.
What'd you get?
9.
Okay. Cadrax?
Also 9.
Oh wow. What's your Cadrax? Your coordination is 4.
5 now, and I rolled a 4.
Oh, it's 5 now?
Right from the minor change that we had.
Did I maybe put V on point on? All right, you know what? We're gonna leave that for now. And
Yeah,
that's why my things doesn't match your sheet. Maybe I accidentally put it Cadrax's Shane minor change onto Vion.
Thanks, Doc.
But
If you need to borrow it for a moment.
I think that was a move I probably picked up from you.
Yeah.
So
I'm
Yes.
so proud.
Why on me to be a moron?
Don't you dare
Cadrax,
say that
Penny,
about my friend.
Ulez, how did you do?
7.
7. Okay, so
No.
Cadrax, Penny, Ulez, Vion, and then the Solidarity. So, Vion, you already went. We will say for this round. Cadrax, it is to you.
All right. So a couple questions. So that I just so that I know what's going on, because there are a lot of people and very little time to make a plan. Do they appear corporeal? Because the fact that Vion can punch something, it does not follow that I can punch something, because human choir things work differently.
Yeah, that is actually a great point. No, they actually, just like Vion, you can kind of see through them.
Okay. But do they interact with, like, if I see them coming through, do they step like around rocks and obstacles? Do they interact with the physical, if not with me?
Make an intellect roll. Ooh.
11.
They're not really moving at this point, so none of them are phased through anything physical right now as far as you can see, but they're not moving, so you can't quite tell. They are all just kind of standing in place, still doing their chant.
Oh, oh gosh, this will just annoy them. I want to make a complex power roll.
Okay, what are you trying to do?
I'm gonna cast silence.
oh,
They're chanting. It'll really piss them off.
Okay, I think that's within your complex powers. That seems reasonable to me. Yeah, make a roll.
Come on, die. You've been real nice. Okay, you're all right. 10?
10. Yeah, and sort of as you release your voice a little bit there, it's like suddenly it's like the sound of the chanting is sort of negated, and yeah, they like suddenly it's like their voices can no longer be heard, and you can see them kind of turning to each other and looking a little bit confused.
And with the rest of my action, I'm just going to move to back up Vion in whatever manner I can and continue to attempt to make a hole. I don't know what kind of influence I have, but I want to be nearby my friend as he seeks glory.
Okay.
And provide whatever support I can. So just, moving on up nearby him.
The move is free, yeah. And that brings us to Benny Beckett.
Okay. I don't know if this is allowed on a turn, but I want to move up to Vion and like put his hand on my shoulder and ask him to. Can I ask him to ghost me on my turn?
Yeah, movement and speaking is all that is all free as long as it is within a reasonable time frame. So it's like yes, if you're just running to Vion and being like, touch me,
Ghost
it's
me.
like ghost me.
I wanted to see if I'm ghosted, if I can also punch them.
Ghost fire. Oh yeah, I've been waiting for this. Vion, do you oblige?
I would say you don't even have to say the words, Benny. The second that you're like heading over, it's just like
your hand up to go. Yeah.
And the second it comes down, it's just like ghost.
All right. Yeah. As soon as she like literally hand on shoulder, arms down, like, and I'm gonna try to get ghost fire hands. We're gonna localize hands right off the bat and make sure I can actually do it because sometimes I can't. I can. It's fine. I did it. And then I'm gonna try to deck the one closest to me and see if I can while I'm ghosted.
Yeah, make your so you're doing this with fire, right? So it's make your prowess roll and add your aura.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck. I love that reaction. Oh, okay. Wait, okay, do I add my
here somewhere? All right, we're getting the blue dice now. Y'all are dead.
I'm adding my aura to the roll or just to damage afterwards?
I think wait, how did wow, it's been so long since we've done an aura punch. Right?
I know.
I think no,
you hasn't used her powers in 4 episodes.
I think you add your aura as damage to the roll.
Damage. Okay, that's
power
what I thought.
plus strength damage.
Yeah, power plus strength damage. Okay. Well, cool. That's for damage.
So
to hit prowess,
is gonna be 13.
13. Well, on what I rolled on that green dice, who is dead to me now, that is a massive success. And yeah, your fire hits that ghost, and as soon as the punch connects, you hear the ghost like it kind of goes, it kind of shrieks, and on a massive success, it falls back and hits the ghost next to it, and the two of them just go down. The one you hit is unconscious. That is a full slam outcome, and the one that you didn't hit takes damage. What is your strength? Your strength plus power is your
strength is 4, and my level is 6.
You're
so 10.
6. 10. Okay, you know what? They're both unconscious. I will say that there were 10 of them to begin with. You have damaged one, the one that Vion punched, and now 2 of them are out, so that leaves 8.
Nice.
And one of those 8 is damaged. So that brings us to Ula's galley.
They are perturbed, a little confused, and they look kind of from left to right, scan the crowd that are now chanting with no voice. There's no sound. Are we... Oh, Benny, that was very violent. Are we inflicting violence upon them? Should we not? Why is this our solution? We'll just look to their allies because they cannot rationalize inflicting harm upon these ghosts despite the fact that they are inherently evil and they stole Tules.
Okay.
I do not know how to react in this situation.
And okay. While you are, so you're kind of essentially like kind of passing the chance to attack.
I think so. Yeah.
Would this be a trouble plate on oneself so they
You
can
know
get
what?
some
Thank you.
determination?
Thank you.
Is that what you're doing? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That is a trouble. Let's call that, honest but naive or something like that.
Yeah,
or
perfect.
I'm learning. Either one
I'm
of those kind of
learning
apply.
both,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, those are both great.
what
So
is
yeah,
happening?
Ulez, you now have 1 point of determination. And that brings us to Vion Vigor.
Well, in that case, I would like to turn into Ulez and say, we're trying to save the day, and I would like to. So they're in a circle. We've broken in one part. Benny knocked out 2 of them on one side.
Yeah, and I'll say like while
On the right,
Ulez
presumably.
was right, like while Ulez was sort of working out their their move, the circle sort of starts to break ranks a little bit, and they're kind of lining up a little bit more in an adversarial position to you.
Okay, well, I mean, listen, here's the thing. Vion's not a fighter, so that was kind of a moment of glory, but he'll try to push the nearest ghost on the left to kind of try to topple a couple of them if they're lined up in that way.
All right, you make a prowess roll for the push. If you
Okay.
get like a slam like the way Benny did, you can also, topple over another person. Otherwise, you
Okay.
need to spend a point of determination to try and do some kind of, burst attack, which I don't know if that really makes sense with like a physical punch,
It'd be a
maybe
stunt.
it does. Yeah, it could be like a stunt
It's an
or
attribute
something.
stunt, I think, technically.
If
Okay.
you want to do that, yeah. That's up to you though.
Yeah, I'll stunt it out. Try to knock some of these.
Right,
folks
you will have
over.
to spend a point of the community determination to do that because you have none of your own as far as.
Is that okay with
Oh,
everybody?
no. You were the one who has 3, so you actually
Yeah.
do have.
Okay. Yeah. This is just
Okay, sorry.
from Vion's bank. Here we go.
God, you're the only person who did have determination. Okay. So
all right.
yeah. So make your prowess roll, and if it hits, now that stunt, we'll apply it to more than one target.
Okay, I got a 6.
Okay, it's not a slam, but you do damage, and like essentially, it's like you hit the guy, and it's like, yeah, you're not much of a fighter, and it's like this is some 1674-year-old, 1674 era, like big tough farmer guy or something, and it's like you kind of like hit him, and it's like he takes the punch and kind of like stumbles back a little bit and hits the guy behind him, and we'll call that is a major success. So you do damage to both of them. And I'll say that you attacked the guy that you attacked previously. So you do more damage to that guy and the one next to him.
Great. And then because, we can move for free, I would like to turn and put a hand on the doc's shoulder.
Yeah, that's free. And we are, now it is the Solidarity's turn. So I tell you what, I'm just going to make one roll for the whole Solidarity, and then everybody you just make, they are going to kind of melee attack. So if you're going to try and dodge, make a coordination roll. If you're going to try and just like take the punch, make a prowess roll, and then just let me know what you get.
Nope.
10
Okay.
to evade?
10, yeah. It's like, I will say 2 of those swing at you, Kadrax, and like one of them kind of like misses. This is like one of those like misses you dodge to one side, and the other one misses as you dodge to the other side. Benny?
12, 14 if I can use my kickboxing skill.
Yeah, I think kickboxing probably applies. This is a fight, and I mean it's not offensive, but you do probably have fancy footwork, that you learned because you were good at it.
So 14.
So yeah, kind of, and that was an evasion, right? So
the prowess, the prowess.
Oh, prowess. Okay, so yeah, it's like again, 2 of them swing at you, and they both hit, but it's like how to take those punches, and it's like you kind of block with one arm, block with the other, and it's like you also take no damage from those. Ulez.
9.
9.
To dodge.
9 to dodge.
You try so hard.
Yeah, no, 9 to dodge will actually do it. It is a marginal success, but that puts it at my discretion. The effort barely succeeds or may fail. So what I'll say is, as you dodge, you kind of slip and fall on your ass, and like now you are on the ground, but you don't take any damage, and they don't hit you.
Okay.
Vion.
I got 8 on prowess.
8 on prowess. Okay, so you get hit twice, but they are only moderate successes, so you only take 4 damage.
That's fair.
What do you have? You have 7, and everyone's at full. We will assume going into this, so that brings you down to 3, Vion.
Okay. A little less than fair, but okay.
But that brings us back to Dr. Caden D'Alto.
Yes. How far are we from the town square?
Just that same kind of run that you made. So
Right, this whole thing is 5 minutes at a walk from end to end, and run is at least twice the speed of a walk, so we could be at most no more than like a minute and a bit from
it's a short
town
jog.
square
Yeah,
at any point in town at a run.
that same short jog you made from the church. Basically, the church is right there in the town square, so it's like it's right there.
Okay. Well, respectful, like Ulas makes a decent point. These are not our primary objective. And though we could combat them ghosted, unghosted they appear not to be directly interactable yet. So what if I just run toward our objective? So I would like to go there because I know where the body right by the well is buried. I pinged it.
So you're just gonna try and like run through them.
Yeah, I think the reason that we were fighting was because they stopped Vion. They physically stopped Vion.
Yeah.
So we were trying to make, now there's a hole. Like there's like
we've made a hole.
Yeah.
Like we've broken their ranks. They're advancing on us, but.
All right, make a coordination roll.
7.
7. Okay, you run by, and as you run by, one of those solidary guys like kind of punches you in the side of the head, and that punch lands. Now you don't have to stop, but with a 7, you take 2 damage, which brings you to 6. But you can. I thought you had 8 stamina.
No, I have 9. I increased my strength 2 minor changes ago.
Oh, you're right.
Did you give it to Vion?
No, you're right. I just forgot to. Yeah, I have the strength and the willpower bump up, but I did not make the adjustment in stamina.
I meant 10 strength. I don't know what you're talking about.
Getting sloppy with my character records. So we're gonna all have to have a talk to make sure I am on the ball for next week. I should, I should be better about these things, and I'm sorry. So yes, but you are down to 7, and otherwise, though.
So I don't know if this is like taking a dash action effectively in addition to my move. Just like
I mean, I'll say you can keep going past them. It's kind of like they hit you, and then you kind of stumble a little bit, but you kind of you don't go down.
Like if I have
an
action, I'll like try to help clear a path for folks as I go. But if I can like use it to move farther, I'll also do that. Either one.
You still have an action. You can either attack or you can keep going.
All right. So if I'm gonna get boxed in the head on the way, can I just give a nice blast of a shoulder check as he lands that shot in response?
Yeah. I think that'll work as an attack.
Okay.
Make a prowess roll. You're right. You're just hitting with your shoulder. Yeah, it's like make a prowess roll.
Oh. Max.
Max.
Yeah, so
12
since it sounds like that's unarmed attack.
Okay, yeah. No, that easily just this guy goes right down to the ground, and he takes some damage also. In fact, why don't we say that was the one that Vion has already done some damage to, so that dude goes down unconscious, leaving 7 standing, 1 damaged, but there's now, like you said, a little bit of like that hole that you pass through. There's kind of a hole in the line, in a football sense.
That's not a great formation. Not a great formation. Poor tacticians. Good cultists, poor tacticians. All right.
So what about the rest of you? Now it is to Benny.
Oh boy. Well, I'm not gonna leave these two to fight a bunch of cultists by themselves. So if anyone is advanced, like anyone that's closest to either of them, I'm gonna try to deck someone else. Like I want to get between. I don't know who just took the big hit. Did both of you get hit?
Ulez went to the ground. Vion
I got hit.
took a big hit. Yeah.
You got hit. Okay. All right. So I want to make sure I'm between Vion and the cultist, and then I would like to do another punch.
Yeah. Okay. You're punching the nearest cultist. Give me a prowess roll. You're doing fire punch.
Yeah, they're still on fire.
Okay. Vion, you're still okay. Oh.
I can count and do math. 12.
Yeah, that's another slam. That one just goes down, and you hear him like grab his face and scream from the burning. It just it's like that is a massive success in a slam, and it just goes. You knock him back like a foot, and he just right out unconscious after he screams himself into unconsciousness.
Benny's also not a fan of these guys for using the thing that she is still trying to make a good thing in her life for evil. So like there's a lot of levels in which she is also very pissed at these people.
And that brings us back to Ulez.
Uncomfortably, they will just kind of like heave themselves up and then try to avoid whatever cultists are still nearby, and like avoid Benny punching the one with fire, and just like navigate to where Cadrax has gone towards the well.
Make a coordination roll.
Yeah. I'm not good. Oh, that's a 6 though. I think I have a 4 in coordination. 10. It's the best I can do.
Yeah, and that will get the job done. This is one of those cool action movie scenes where it's like a guy just grab you and you just got to dodge out of the way, and then the other one grabs you from the other side and you duck underneath, and and it kind of, and then just right through the line over to Cadrax. And some of the cultists are kind of now they kind of don't know which way to attack. They're kind of like turning, and it's like you got Benny and Vion on one side, Cadrax and Ulez on the other side, and that brings us to Vion.
Okay, so it's just Benny and me, but they're sort of scattering, and they're about to go up next. Interesting. Okay, because I see Ulez kind of, making their way to the well. I know that Doc's already, out there and has a ping. And I see these folks kind of starting to look around. I think I'm going to use my turn to just yell to them and be like, let's just finish this right now. Come on. And I want to put up my fists. Let's just
holding the ghost's attention.
Let's just finish this right now.
You're trying to like distraction?
Yeah.
All right, make a willpower roll.
Okay.
Look at me, ghosts. Look at me.
Okay. 9. And if I can throw a performance on top of that.
Yeah.
10.
You can 10. All right, that's a major success. So the ghosts sort of like move towards you and kind of start like circling you a little bit. And again, there's that chant, Virtus pertenet ad potentis. Virtus pertenet ad potentis.
Yeah, keep it going.
And
we love it.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna put that on hold for a second. Benny, you're still with Vion?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not gonna leave him to fend for himself.
Cadrax and Ulez, what are you doing?
I'm sorry. You know what? I'm so sorry. Is there one last thing I can do?
What do you want? It depends. What is it?
This might be too much, so just feel free to throw. I'm just trying to think ahead here. Can I grab one of the robes?
Yeah, that seems like a reasonable action. Roll coordination.
Okay.
Ooh, better do good.
Come on. 6.
You kind of try to, but like it's not that it's not that you can't get it physically. It's just you kind of come up short and don't quite reach out enough.
You win some, you lose some. No worries.
Yeah, it's not the most graceful maneuver you've ever executed. And otherwise, yeah. Sorry, Kadrax and Ulez, what are you doing while he is distracting them over to them?
Yeah, hearing what clearly I can hear his thumbs up from here, simply knowing that he is threatening fisticuffs and knowing what I know and trusting that he would only do such a thing if he thought he could handle it. We're going to race for the well, or at least I am. I can't speak for Ulez. They are their own being with their own agency.
All right. Both of you roll coordination.
All right. Ulas is here to support. Oops.
Yes.
I just dropped that on the ground.
8.
6.
Okay. You go taking off in that direction, running through, that kind of pathway. As you run, dog kind of starts chasing along with you, and you are headed off to the town square. Benny and Vion, you have 6 Solidary members around you. It is their turn. They're again going to melee attack. So both of you, however you want to try and survive, evade, make your roll and let me know what you're doing and what you get. So lucky. Okay, green, blue, and red are all against me? That's all I got.
Rick, let me send you some dice. They won't be waiting.
Yeah, I'm going to trust you.
13.
13? What did you do? Evade or
Prowess.
Prowess,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, she knows how to, yeah.
8 on prowess.
Okay. Yeah, Vion, it's like they kind of swipe at you, but you are able to kind of mostly avoid the, it's like taking damage. It's like, they grab you a little bit, but like, they don't actually, nobody gets a good punch in, Benny, you are, with that 13, that's a massive success. You take the hit so well that it draws a couple of them away from Vion, essentially.
Yeah, good.
And again, that will essentially, like, they land the punches, but you're fucking tough and nothing, you barely even feel that. And it is to you.
And there's a bunch of them around me, right?
Yeah.
I want to use burst and get all of them.
Okay. Yeah, you added burst, didn't you?
I did.
Okay, so that's part of your aura, right? But
Which
it has
I'm
a
doing-
limit where it's unpredictable and might not work.
That is to get it started.
That's to get it started. Okay.
And I succeeded on that roll.
Oh, right. You already have your aura on.
I've been on fire.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Roll
So
your
she
power
can
roll.
I don't know how this would work, like if it's localized still, if she can just arms out and just burst out from her hands or something. I'm not sure how that would work, or if I'm gonna have to do a full body burst into flames. But I want to do an attack and get all of them.
Yeah, it's like they're so tight around you. I would say, right, do a full body burst into flames probably is how to do it, because I don't know, it's like it's hard to picture hitting 6 people by roundhousing.
Yeah,
it's like it's much easier to picture they're all tight around you and you
yeah. So then I
burst into
think
flames.
I think that's what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So make that power roll.
12.
12. Oh yeah, okay. That is going to be a massive success.
Yeah.
And yeah, 12 minus. Okay. All right, yeah, and you deal damage to all of them, all 6 of them. In fact, I'll say is like, the amount of damage you do, it doesn't quite knock them out, but like it's not a slam, but it is what is it called? A stun? What is it right below a slam? Sam, do you remember? I think it's stun is the next one down. Okay, yeah, it's a stun. So like the flames as it hits them, they all just kind of scream and kind of hide their heads and like one or two of them fall to their knees as the other ones kind of try like beating the flames off of their robes. They are
How's
all
that
in
for
a state
irony?
of,
Take that. God.
yeah, they are all in a state of distraction, and that brings up that brings up Vion. But what are the two you want to do now?
I'm taking a robe.
All right, make a coordination roll. I will put a penalty on this guy since he is in pain and on fire.
That came out to a 5.
All right, that will easily work given the state that he is in. So, yeah, you kind of rip like a little, because the material is burning. It's very easy for you to kind of like tear off part of it.
Great.
I can also pull the fire back now. It's back on my turn, but
yeah, and while they are, scattering around, are you going to continue the fight? You're going to make a run for it? What are you doing?
Let's head to the well.
All right, both of you make coordination rolls.
Okay.
if we're leaving this area, then I probably want to stop being on fire. But 6.
Okay. And I got a 5.
And a 5. All right. It's not graceful, but since I have them in a state of distraction, because they were all stunned by your attack, there's not much that they can do about it. Like the two of you just go running off, and they kind of try and stumble after you, but it's like they're so stunned that it's like they're moving like drunks, And you two go ahead into the town square.
Yeah, I'm gonna pat out. I don't want to be in the town square on fire.
Okay, yeah. On the way, we'll assume that you can do that as a free move. Meanwhile, Kadrax and Ulez, you are arriving in the town square, and as you come running in, standing in the center of the town square, you can see as you come jogging around the corner, right by where the statue of the town founder is, there is 2 members of the Solidarity, and standing between them, there is a third who is wearing the green robes, but his green robes are kind of embroidered with like gold designs on them. And as you come towards him, he pulls back his hood, and he is the Reverend Nathaniel Stoughton. You can see he looks exactly like the statue. I think we said he's Christoph Waltz. And he looks at the two of you as you come towards him, and he says, Virtuis potentit ad potentes. Power belongs to the powerful.
My understanding was that Latin was a dead language among humans.
Oh, that's what they're
Your
speaking.
power is dead as well?
Symbolic.
No, my power is very much alive. As you are about to find out.
Okay.
Roll initiative.
Oh no. Let's just wanted to chat. Why would you do
That
this?
wasn't great. 7.
7.
9.
9. Okay, so
Weird.
Ulez, you will go first.
Oh no.
Then the Reverend Stoughton, and then Kadrax. The 2 members of the Solidarity behind him or standing either side of him don't move and don't do anything. They just stand back. Ulez, to you.
Ulez and B really struggle with the idea that this is actually an initiative. Like, what about his body language suggests violence or some kind of threat? Like, aside from being just himself.
Well, he begins to and we'll assume this is all kind of slow motion description. It's like that's why you can roll initiative because you're not surprised. It's like so it's like he just kind of starts raising his hands.
Okay, that helps. You have taken a member of my species. You are kidnapping, or you are abducting people, and with no good cause. And your idea of execution is to burn people at the stake. I think that is unforgivable. And I'll go ahead and use a light blast.
All right. Okay.
That roll.
Yeah, make your light blast roll.
I have not leveled it up in a while. It's a 10. Can I? Yeah, no, that's going to be a 10.
That's a 10. Okay. Your light blast passes right through him, and it hits the statue behind him, and the statue just comes tottering down and like collapses like right between you. And then the Reverend Stoughton raises his hands, and the statue starts to like shake and like levitate off the ground. And he goes, woof, and it goes flying right at you. Ulez, make a coordination roll. I gotta see.
Thank you for not asking for prowess. Oh, fuck. 7?
Okay, that is going to be a moderate success. Okay, his telecoordination is his willpower plus the roll. Okay, yeah, that is a moderate success. The statue hits you. The statue is 3. You take 3 damage, so you're down to 3.
Oof. Poor little cracked me.
And now, Cadrax, it is your turn, and I will say, just as Benny and Vion come running around that corner, you now see the scene before you. This guy in, the robe with the gold trim, the 2 members of the Solidarity standing calmly behind him. You see the statue fly up and hit Ulez and knock them back. Cadrax, your attack.
What is his position relative to where the body is buried? Is he nearby? Please say he's nearby.
The well is vaguely near the statue. Yeah, I would say the well is maybe about, maybe 10 feet, kind of, diagonally behind him, not like directly behind him, but.
I think power level wise, I've probably got that radius. Just, for the sake of efficiency. We've talked about soil liquefaction before, right?
We've talked about a lot of things, so maybe, but yet, what do you want?
If you shake, like it's a thing that earthquakes do in general, and I was like, how do we do a thing that will allow us to dig? If shaking actually causes soil to behave as a fluid, which is a very efficient means of creating quicksand. Just fun fact, but ideally also allows for more viable fluid dynamics toward our buried end down there. I think I am probably creating a quality here. I think this is a maneuver.
Yeah, okay. I
think.
Make your power roll. Yeah, I like that.
All right. Ah! This die is so good to me tonight. 13.
13. Let's see. Material for just ground is probably like, let's say 3. So 8 plus that's that is a massive success. So that creates the quality of liquefied soil with, I think, 3 free activates. So, right, that's what when a massive success on a maneuver gives you 3 free activates. Any of you now can use those. You can activate that quality without having to spend any determination on it.
Cool.
And as
we call it stuck in the mud with respect to him. Just.
Well, yeah, sure. Absolutely. What happens is like suddenly like this, right, you do your thing and like the ground starts to shake and then it's like kind of like turns to quicksand and like the 2 members of the Solidarity next to him are just like sucked right down into it as you sort of see them, it's like clearly they're, they had solidified their feet. They were standing on that ground, so they were able, so they were pulled in when it pulled them down. And he is also sort of pulled down, but you can see, he's doing something to kind of like resist a little bit, and he's kind of pulled down to his waist and is like struggling with it.
That's what you don't want to do in the. No, it's fine.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, that's not smart.
I won't tell him that.
Yeah.
He doesn't know.
Yeah.
Like burying bodies near a water supply, he doesn't know.
And as he struggles, he kind of yells at you, and he's like, "I will have your power too. Power belongs in the hands of the strong who know how to use it. Can't have a world where just anyone can perform miracles, can we?" And you see him like kind of starting to use his telekinesis to like pull himself up. Benny and Vion, make your what do you call it?
Initiative.
Initiative. Thank you.
You're so worked up in the scene. You're getting the mechanics.
I got a 9.
9 as well.
Oh wow. Okay, so
Coming in hot.
yeah. All right. Who's got the higher coordination?
Mine is only 3.
Yours is only 3, so that'll be Vion. So Vion, you go first.
No, I'm also 3 because I'm not.
Because that point was not really yours. Right, we decided. Yeah, you're right.
You ran first, so I was following you. So you get there first. So you probably react first.
Okay, that's as good a way to decide it as any. I know that there's some backup statistic
fine.
we're deciding, but Vion, you want to attack? Or
Yeah,
what do you want to do?
Well, I'm running. I just saw the doc do the ground liquefaction. I would like to ask Doc, Doc, where's the body? And I'm just kind of like pointing around.
I'll indicate as precisely as I can from pointing. I do also remember explicitly telling you.
That's a good point. Yeah,
Pointing
you're
out
right.
where things were back when we first had the tour, when we met up after we split off and you talked to
You gave us a full download. Okay, in that case, I don't even really need to ask that. I would just like to look at Nathaniel, right?
Yeah.
And I would like to, and I understand that this is somewhat uncharacteristic for the good role model that Vion is trying to be, but I think this has pushed him a little bit sort of closer to his old self. And he flips 2 birds as he sinks through the ground. I would like to activate on us having liquefied ground. I don't have to worry about what I'm phasing through. This is acting like a liquid. And I would like to sink right to the body.
Okay. Yeah. Vion, you just right through that liquid, sand, right down, and then about, I don't know, 12, 15 feet beneath the soil, you pass and find your head in a coffin. And in it, there is an old, desiccated corpse that is basically, mostly skeletal at this point, and just little bits of clothing.
Okay, I'm not exactly sure what I can do. I'm gonna try to postcog the body.
Make your postcog roll.
Okay. Come on, something good. 8.
You put your hands on the body and you start to do your postcog thing, and we'll find out what happens there in a second. Meanwhile, back up on the soil. Benny Beckett, what are you doing?
How much space is there between the quicksand and my friends? How much solid ground?
2 or 3 feet, I would say, or 3 to 5 feet, let's say. Probably where you stopped when you saw him.
Okay, well, I want to for sure get, because we saw like the tail end of Ula's getting smashed, so I want to put myself in between our Reverend and Ula's for sure. Like, if he's throwing stuff, I want it to hit me first.
Yeah,
like,
you run in front of Ula's.
And I'm not gonna get down into the quicksand. I don't think I don't have any reason to walk on that, but can I like use an action to? Is there something like that where you can use an action as like in defense of someone?
Yeah.
It's like I don't do
There's
something
the
now, but
interposing reaction.
oh, it's a reaction. I don't. Okay.
Reaction. Yeah.
So it like eats your next turn, so you could do something and mortgage next round. Like take an action now and then use your reaction against next turn and achieve both.
I don't know what I can do here because I can't
Well, you
get
certainly
him.
have fire control is certainly a way to reach him, right? It's like
That is true.
but that's up to you. Or you can,
That's actually very fun. I would like to. I'm gonna drop. Like she's gonna snap her hands down. Let's see if she can start on fire. Get her hands on fire again. I stopped. No, she can't do it. Never mind. So she kind of like flicks a couple of times and can't get on fire and is like, is there anything? Are there candles anywhere on like, is there like lanterns? Because this is like an old timey, like,
make an investigation roll.
oh boy. Okay, 9.
All right, I rolled a 1. So for a 9, well, first of all, I'm getting rid of these dice, okay? And I'm sorry, it looks like we're going to go this like a couple of minutes overtime here. It won't be too bad. But yeah, for that, what I will say is there are 3 candles in the church window behind, what looks like a stained glass window that you can see flickering behind the stained glass, kind of, lighting it up.
Can I pull the fire through the window?
You got fire control. You can do whatever you want if you make the roll.
I want to try to pull the fire towards me through the window and then I want to threaten him with it, but like I got to see if I can get it through the window first.
All right. Yeah, make your roll. It's a 3, right, for fire control?
Yeah. No. Oh, that's bad. 4. Rolled a 1.
4. I'll say it's like, you can see the flame kind of pulling towards the window, but it kind of you don't get a good enough grasp on it to get it through.
All right. That's probably my turn then. She's got like a loose grip on it. She can't pull it yet, but she's trying, and maybe next turn she'll get it. Who knows? But that's my turn. I'm in between Ulez and him, and that's that pulling at fire.
That brings up okay, so it was Ulez was at the top of the order? Right, it was Ulez, then
order.
Yeah, it was Ulez, then Nathaniel, then Kadrax, then Dion, then Benny. Okay, so Ulez, to you.
I mean, they're gonna scramble up with Benny kind of as their guard now. Benny, we have to stop this person. They are the one responsible for everything. They know where Tulez is. I do not believe in execution, but I do believe in capture.
I don't want to kill anybody, Ulez. We just want to get Tulez back.
Please. And I want to reunite the Guinevere. Name with a G.
No, you got it. You got it. Yeah.
Me too. First on our to-do list.
Well, the first thing is perhaps knocking this monster unconscious. And
after you,
we'll try again.
Yeah.
With the power move.
Yes.
It does have power, just so rarely used properly. Okay. It's not a 6, but it's decent.
Maybe he can't get out of the way as easily now because he's waist deep in liquefied soil.
Yeah, we have 2 free activates.
Yeah,
so you could use one on offense, one on defense.
Yeah, you can use one of those activates. You have 2 left, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and that I have to use a determination to utilize and activate, right?
No, these are free
activates.
I built them for free out of the roll.
You are amazing. So that becomes 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11.
Okay.
And
before
you the offensive.
Earlier you could not connect with him because Vion was not ghosting you, so you can do ghost to ghost combat. But now he is busy trying to physically extract himself, still using his telekinesis, and is kind of solidified up a little bit more as he's trying to rip himself out of the dirt, because he's to fight the suction, and this time with the distraction he's got going on, he does not see you kind of coming and does not phase. So yeah, with a 9, you get a major success, and your light blast just does conventional damage, right? So it's like your light blast. Yeah, you hit him, and it definitely connects this time. He feels the light, and when it hits him, he kind of like kind of like shrieks and like shakes his head back and forth, and starts to sink a little bit further into the dirt.
Could I utilize my second effect with this as well and drain some of his life force back into me, because that heckin' hurt. I took some damage.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know if that works like that, but I kind of think it's so cool that why don't we
Take it back?
No, wait, it actually does work like that, right? Yes.
That's my second effect.
Yes, you have to use that to use. Yeah.
So you got to use that to use that, and that is from the light blast. Okay, right. Yeah, sorry, that was my bad. You will easily refill to your full 6.
So rarely hit things.
Yeah, I forgot that's an automatic effect of the light blast. You vampirically take
but I'm also functioning. It works.
Hey. So yeah, that fills you up. You are topped off at 6, and that brings us back to Gaiden.
Nathaniel now.
Yeah.
Oh, Nathaniel. Right.
Yes, he has to do bad things first.
Mm-hmm.
Nathaniel, he looks over at Kadrax, and he is going to attack you with a mental blast since he is all bound up in the dirt. That is willpower versus willpower, so make a willpower roll.
All right. I'm going to invoke the quality specific, of stuck in the mud, in that he's trying to do a mental concentration act while in a scenario that causes visceral panic.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a hard circumstance to make a concentration spell, so to speak.
Yeah.
That absolutely makes sense.
All right. Good, because otherwise I'm boned with power. It's not exactly my specialty. It's the talking to people one, and I figured it was the talking to humans stat, so... Oh, hey! But we're okay, That's a total of 3 plus 2 plus 6, 11.
11. So he got...
That's better than I can possibly do. That's the best I can do. I can't do better than that.
And so that is a moderate success, so you only lose 2 stamina.
Okay, cool. I'll take it.
Which brings you to 5. I'm sorry I keep hitting my microphone, everybody. It's right here. I talk with my hands. It happens a lot. Please forgive me.
It's just Kadrax accidentally pulsing. Don't worry about it.
But now, Kadrax, it is to you.
So I remember this scene where in Civil War where Scarlet Witch just mushes Vision into the ground. And here's the thing, I also
spoilers, everyone, if you haven't.
10 years? Are we good?
You haven't seen the Phase 2 film, Civil War.
I would like to commit a blast.
Okay.
It's effectively an air pressure.
Yeah,
on me. I'm not altering the density of someone or something. That would be ridiculous. But we have liquefied soil. We have air pressure.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense within your power set. So yeah, just make your power roll.
Ooh. Also, I apologize. It was Phase 3. It was the first film of Phase 3.
Oh, I apologize.
You should apologize.
Completely inappropriate, and I should never have. But go watch.
Very spoiler sensitive. Very protective of people. Yeah.
That's another 13 out of me.
That's a 13. Okay.
Yeah, this die's really nice today. It's gonna be trained.
What I will say is that is such an overwhelming success. It just crushes down on him. The air hits him, and he is just screamingly swallowed up into the earth. And things go quiet for a second. Now, Vion, let's get back to you. When you do that postcog, just like before, when this all the ghosts turned on from your postcog, suddenly you feel a hand grab your arm, and you are sailing back up. And when you come back up, you find yourself being held by another ghost, the two of you floating now above the town square, sailing up just a little bit, maybe 10, 15 feet in the air. She, if I had to cast her, is Tilda Swinton. And she is also dressed in, old-timey 17th century garb. And she looks at you and she says, "The spirit."
I'm guessing you're Gwen?
I am. Now, if you'll excuse me. And on that, she kind of dives through the ground, and you kind of, beneath you, you see the soil sort of start to like sink and shake, almost like waves. And you know that there's something going on down there. And then there's sort of like this kind of pulse of green light that just like shoots up from underneath. And as it happens, like those two solitary ghosts who had been sucked down, you see what's left of their arms that were reaching up above the ground just kind of dissolve into light. And you see the ghosts who were in the town square, who, when the combat started, sort of fleed to the edges. They all sort of dissipate and just kind of blow away into the air. And then Guinevere rises back out of the ground. And she lands before you, and she says, "I have waited long. Thank you." And then from behind her, from where you came before, you can see Bridget kind of come running, and Guinevere walks right past you, very determined like, to Bridget, and she kind of puts her hands on her shoulders, and they kiss, like the kiss of people who have not seen each other for 350 years. And then she takes Bridget's hand and she walks back towards you, and she says, "Stoughton's evil did not die with him, and it will be up to you to stop it. The words will be the key." And she turns back to Bridget and puts her hands on her face, and they look in each other's eyes, and they kind of start laughing. And as they start laughing, they are sort of subsumed by this golden light and just disappear into the air. And as that happens, that same kind of weird green flash that started all this kind of happens, and all the regular people that were walking around before, they're just kind of back. And you see Jolena, the tour guide, coming back with those 4 people, and she's just like, "And there it ends the tour. Please stop at our gift shop, buy a t-shirt, and then return to ye old Rifton Village. Thank you, everyone." She passes you, Vion, and she's just like, "I'm going to watch that movie again." She kind of waves and walks away with the tour group as everything just kind of resumes normality.
Is the statue still there?
I was about to ask.
The statue, yeah, it is fallen down. Jolena did not even notice it, just walked right past, either oblivious or just completely didn't care. But yeah, no, the statue is knocked down and is right on the ground where it, fell when it hit Ulez before.
I stomp its face. Emotionlessly, just business-like.
Emotionlessly.
Yeah, you stomp on it, and it's metal, so it doesn't really take that much damage. But it's emotionally satisfying.
You feel good.
If it's all right, I would like to walk over to the statue, and I would like to try to phase this. Well, no, what's it made of?
It's probably like cast iron or something. It looks, pretty heavy and old.
Okay, so it's probably out of my purview.
Strength
then.
range?
Yeah.
I mean, they mostly do bronze. with statues.
Depending on who it was, it could have been a
Getting
real cheap
gas
job.
trains.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is
That thing might be
true.
hollow. Who knows?
Could be
Yeah,
bronze.
I mean, if this is the late 20th century, you know what we're saying, kind of.
Is
What-
there
what are
any
you trying to do?
It's gonna be cheap.
Is there
Like,
any
what are you trying to do?
patina? I just want to phase that thing into the ground and walk away.
Oh, you know what? I will say, for if that's what you're trying to do, that yes, this is we'll bend the rules here a little bit, since this is not a combat, or
Guinevere
nothing-
gave you a little bit of a power boost before she disappeared.
Yeah.
Yes,
We
your
rescued
proximity
her,
to
hottie.
your proximity to
Yeah.
Guinevere's power has temporarily juiced you up, and
I'm just vibing with lesbian energy right now.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go ahead and take that statue, and I would like to, in the most visual, poetic irony possible, leave that man buried exactly in the place that he left Gwen, and then just float back up and just not even look back.
Oh,
So
dude,
good.
I love that. Yeah, absolutely. The power of lesbianism brings that statue down through the ground and into that empty grave. And on that, we'll see you next week. This was a wonderful one.
my
Thank you
gosh.
so much, everybody, and thank you so much, everyone in the chat. We went overtime, so real quick, everybody go around the table, tell the good people where they can find you, starting with Omar Najam.
Hey everyone, I'm Omar Najam. You can find okay. Here we go. Collect it. I'm Omar
Bring it
Najam. You can
back.
find me on Twitter at Omar Najam. Also, if you are in our Discord, I am putting up every Monday a new chapter. And Librarian Liz, I know we're hustling through this, but I should really quickly say this. Librarian Liz is reading the chapters out loud Saturday mornings on Twitch. To me, like, we play superheroes in this. As a kid, the Airborne Library, which later became Evergreen Library, I was obsessed with. So librarians are my superhero. So this is a dream come true that Liz is reading these chapters. So I'm putting them up. I hope everyone likes them, but that's up in Discord, or hang out with us on Saturday and
Oh my God,
and
the
hear Liz
readings
read.
are great. The book is amazing, and honestly, it's like we're going to Crescent Bay someday. It's like we're gonna use Omar's stuff as continuity at some point. So read the book; it's so good. Sam Delev.
Hi, I'm Sam Delev. When I am not being propelled to superheroic heights by the power of lesbianism, you can find me as a role-playing performer and variety streamer throughout the Twitchernet. Well, also being propelled by the glorious power of lesbianism. My full schedule is on my Twitch About page, twitch.tv/Delevely, DELEVELY, and my Twitter has most of my ad hoc events where I might be doing a random one-offs. That's at Tchaikovsky, ChaiKovsky.
Caitlin Bruder.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Bruder, and I'm just living the lesbian colors currently, which I realized with his background I dressed for the occasion, which I'm very happy about. You can find me on Twitter at KKAMABR, and everything I do, I will link it there.
Wow, very efficient.
Yes.
Last and never least, B Zelda.
What's up? What's up? I am B. You can find me on Twitter as at B_Zelda. Add an extra underscore if you want to follow me on Instagram. I'm a podcaster. I am a streamer. And most importantly, it is still Black History Month. And on Tuesday, I'm going to be streaming a game about Canadian war and how it affected the Black communities in Canada on a Roll20 Indie Showcase. So if you want to learn and you want to play some TTRPGs, check that out and follow me on Twitter.
That sounds fascinating. Oh my God.
I had to do so much heckin' research. But it's been good. It's been good. I don't read things. It's been a lot of wiki articles.
Oh my God, I'm so going to watch that. And I'm Rick Budd. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at rbud913, or you can follow the show at Powerplay RPG. I will be back here next week with these lovely and talented people for the 7th episode of our season. And yeah, I can't believe we're on the home stretch for season 2. It's like, oh my God, it's like it all goes so fast. So yeah, that's it. Thank you very much. And on that, the theater goes dark, and we are in an unknown location outside of a warehouse whose entrance is guarded by military soldiers. Major Bruce Buck, who I think we cast as Paul Blackthorne back in the 2nd episode of this season, comes running up to the guards in a panic. Are they still in there? And the guard's like, yes, sir. He's like, okay. And he pushes past them and goes inside, and we follow him into a large room that kind of looks like a cross between like a high-tech lab and like an automotive workshop. And in the center of the room is a space pod that is identical to the one that Ulez Gali owns. And a scientist type in a white coat is kind of standing in front of it, blocking it off, and he's arguing with like kind of two government agent types in suits. And if I had to cast them, I would say they were Luke Evans and Katie Sackhoff. And they are, kind of arguing with the scientist, and Major Buck walks straight towards him. Hey, I'm Major Bruce Buck. I'm in charge here. What's this all about? And the agents turn to him, and the male one says, I'm Dan. This is Jane. We're here to take this off your hands, Major. And the Major says, on whose authority? And the two agents reach into their coats, and they flash end badges at him. And he shakes his head, and he goes, oh, you guys again. Well, that's military property. And Agent Jane says, no, it's not. And if you try and get in our way, I have authorization to arrest you. And Major Buck says, yeah, we'll see about that. And he kind of huffs his way into the corner of the room, and he pulls his phone out of his pocket, and he dials, and he kind of looks around. And it's me. They just came for the ship. And he listens. He goes, I think we have to make our move. And he listens. Are we agreed? Good. And he hangs up, and he glares daggers at those two agents as we cut to black. See you next week. Thanks for playing with us.